Saint-14. That was really cool. Love him. He's like, do you remember that? That was really cool. Yeah, it's cool. No. Let's. Oh, wait a minute. Perfect paradox. Ooh. Oh, this is an. I think I have this. I have this, but not. Yeah. Oh, I should. Yeah. Killing them. Damn. Man, that is so cool. I should equip mine too. Wait, let me see if I can take it out of the vault. Now, of course, I have to infuse it to something else, but I'm sure that can be arranged. It's 750. Oh, okay. Yeah. Pulse rifles. No. I was sitting in orbit. I invited you, so I should join you? Not to read. Okay. I am level 46. What of it? I believe you're. Wait, hold on 1 second. Okay, wait. So this says this weapon will also gain a tracker. That's always the number of enemies killed by using it. Generate orbs and multi kills. Again, everyone about the stat. What's the difference between the Vanguard one and the Crucible one? Oh, it just displays the number of enemies versus the number of Crucible opponents. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. It is Master Turret. Mm-hmm. No. Alright, I am ready. We are going to... So... Gambit Prime. Yeah, let's do Prime. I don't know. Oh, I hate that. Basically, yep. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you. Oh.
I hope you like sounding crazy on the stream, because I think for a good 7 minutes of stream, there was no Lucian. There was no ExpertPenguin. There was no voice. Everything I said is now lost to the winds. Apparently, the voltage.
I was talking to
Kinda were.
myself.
You were Buck Rogering it up a bit. Sorry, Don Quixote. Yeah, the voltage was not going into my microphone. So my mic was on, but my mic needs the extra voltage in order to power this silky smooth, warm radio voice we have here. Silky smooth. Like yes, like
voice.
caramel, as Shaq would say. All right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Can I fight
Ding.
alongside the drifter?
Vex on the
at some
field.
point? You know what?
I think that's gonna have to be a thing.
I was gonna say, given what we know, about the
simulate
drifter,
junk. Such a waste.
would you say that he seems to understand the light and the darkness better than anyone else at this point? Because I feel like I kind of
Grab
see
your
that. Like, given the little discoveries and the discussions we've been having about the nature of both,
Hostiles gonna be
I'm starting to
tough.
feel like,
Invaders gonna be
you
ready
know,
for you.
I'm kind of starting
Buckle
to
up.
feel like,
Hostiles incoming at the cavern.
I'm starting to feel like he's probably been more on the ball than anyone else about the nature of this crud and how best to prepare for it.
Well, his way to prepare for it would be to just not be around.
I mean, it's a pretty sound strategy. If it's really like just entropy and it's these things endlessly burning each other in order to create new shapes in the universe, then maybe not being caught in the middle of that endless causality war is the best option. I mean, if your destruction is just going to yield more life, do you want to be destroyed?
Incoming at the gulch.
No.
I don't know.
But that reminds me, I would like to go talk. We should go talk to Eris and see if she's got a new lore card for us today.
It could be a good time to do moon things. You can also, hit up a quest. We still haven't done Eris's Dreambane quest yet. We kind of left an endgame exotic on the table by not doing this.
What's the dream bane
There's
quest?
the thing where Eris is like, oh, she's found one of the Hive's dark secrets. It's in the moon somewhere. That's a quest to get this exotic rocket launcher called the Deathbringer. Yeah,
Oh.
we got it when we beat.
I didn't even
We
know that
got
was
it
a
when
thing.
we beat Shadowkeep. It was practically our reward for beating
Okay.
Shadowkeep. All right, that Hydra is not it. I'm using Ariana's Vow, but I kind of need some help killing this thing, peeps. I'm a grim fellow. I'm here to do the reaping. Got him. Sorry, I really like that line from Monty Python. No? Says is a grim fellow here to do some kind of reaping. Like, no. Like, bro, the Grim Reaper is literally at your door. Okay, all right. So Monty Python sketch. You're gonna find out soon enough.
Kill the blockers.
Yeah, I think it's from like the meaning of life. Oh no. All right, I've got 8 motes, and I do not see where the invader might be. So
Give him hell.
keep an eye out, crab people.
Guardian
Okay.
down.
Were you
Portal's
killed or did
prime.
you die?
Go make a mess.
I died, but I
Oh, no, I think he's near me.
deposited before.
I think he's near me. The way that red is moving on my radar is. Yup, it is. Yeah,
You
he's
see
trying to
him?
kill me.
I don't see him.
Invader's gone.
Well, when
Get
things
him
on my
next time.
radar start
Oh.
moving a certain way, and that's usually how I can tell an invader's nearby, I start looking at my radar.
Your allies invading
Because
the
if
other
it's not
side.
moving like a normal enemy would, like this dot just
Guardian
seems to
down.
consistently and accurately be following me around, it's like, alright, that's an invader.
Yeah.
I almost
mhm.
killed him, but he...
Half
you know,
pint taken, headed
I was
to the
carrying
other
8
side.
motes. That's not the time that you know... Not the appropriate time. To
Yeah,
have
that's not the time
to
to
have
get into a fight.
A bleeping contest,
Yeah.
yes. I have no insecurities. Boop!
Your
Also, you know,
allies
fear not,
back
fear not.
with
I'm
one
wearing my
kick.
full Reaper gear, i.e. the only piece of gear I seem to
Nice.
have completed with Armor 2.0. I'm trying to get all my collector stuff, but nobody wants to do the reckoning with me. Yeah, nobody wants to do the reckoning with me whenever I want to do the reckoning.
High value
So
target
we can get
destroyed.
some Gambit Prime armor pieces. I want my collector suit back.
Well, maybe we can do the reckoning. Seeing as it's
I mean, as long as you have the motes, you can always do the reckoning and get rewards. You can always do the reckoning. Whenever you want. It's actually one of the weekly Gambit objectives. You have to do 4 successful runs of the reckoning and play Prime for some additional points.
Sending small blocker. Portal's ready.
It's just that
Grab
the
your
teams
gun.
you run into when the variables are up range from blueberry to highly effective.
Target mark. Nice.
Yeah! Give me them neck meats. Give me them neck meats. What? Their heads look like a gray version of the
Neck
NBC
meat.
logo. I can't help but think of them as game hens. Okay, that's a lot of fanatics in one place. I'd rather not, thank you.
yeah.
They're killing me! I almost got 15, but I had to like bail because
Ah.
they were really getting really overzealous with their
Yeah.
zeal back there.
Hey,
Oh,
you're
shit.
losing motes.
Okay, too many blockers.
Damn.
That's
Seriously?
a lot of motes.
Wow.
That's a lot of, I mean, we're taking them out. Let's just not let somebody invade because I've got 15 motes on me right now, and that'd be a travesty. Come on, get him in. Woo! Not a moment
Yep.
too
Large
soon. Let's
blocker
go.
to
Nice.
the other side. You're a horrible
Let
person.
us go, my
Invader
cabbages.
inbound.
Nice.
Alright, I'm thinking across the map, maybe in the middle section. That's probably where he popped up.
Oh, no, he's in the middle.
Yeah,
Yep.
figured. Oh, there he is.
God
That's
damn it, I lost him.
I'll get him. Goodbye. Get off my
Invader
map.
down. Your allies
Nice.
a hero.
Off my map. Why am I using a sword? I think I was doing that for aesthetics. Let me actually equip a real weapon. I was totally using that sword for
God
aesthetics. I
damn it.
wanted the Saint-14 equipment thing to look cool. Oops, I forgot to hit post on Instagram. Damn,
Invader on the field.
they're
Careful.
trying, aren't they? Alright, he's probably...
Your ally
Whoops.
neutralized the invader.
no,
bow to
somebody
the
got him.
face.
And took his
Did you
most.
see that clip that I put up where I said something like, where I said never give up? Something like that? Oh, no, it was the clip that said, There's no I in lose.
Almost there. Feel the pain.
No, I
Summon
didn't.
a primeval.
You've been missing some really good clips of us, of me, especially today. I put some
Hostiles
elbow grease
incoming
into
at
that
the
clip.
cavern.
I'm very disappointed. If you could give it a like, I would be
You
very happy.
summoned a primeval.
At least
Kill the
somebody engaged
envoys.
with it.
Okay.
Bring the house
Like
down.
nobody engaged with it. I usually get one like or something. And I thought this one was good. You know what? You'll like it. I showed it to Ma, and even though she has no idea what's going on in Destiny, she thought it was cool. Like, she knew what was going on and
Brace
thought it was
yourself.
pretty funny. Not seeing him, but I think he's on the right side of the map. Just have a weird feeling. Don't start the damage phase while the invader's out here. Oh,
Nah.
he's running towards y'all. I see him.
Oh,
Yep.
I see him.
He's running towards you.
Guardian down.
Oh, he got me.
Your
You
ally
can't heal a
neutralized the
primeval.
Who's prime
You
me?
can't
Oh.
heal a primeval that's never been damaged. Stay low. All right.
Alright,
Opportunity.
here we go.
Let's take it.
Your light supercharged. Turn up the heat on that primeval.
All right. I'm surprised you. Oof. I'm surprised you usually don't throw down like healing rifts or something while we're doing this.
Oh
Very
yeah, I
surprising.
forgot about that.
All right. You see how much damage we did to him? That's part
Yeah.
of the Reaper's final perk. Like, I'm wearing the full set of armor and I got the 15 bonus. Apparently we get increased resilience, recovery, and I think damage while standing in the Well of Radiance next to me. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice.
We're all about the reaping. We're all about the reaping right now. Okay. Yeah, it's not a bad skill set that the Reapers get. Like I said, I think the only bad one is Sentries. Really, I feel like they got the short end of the perk stick. But Invaders, Collectors, Reapers, they get the cool stuff when you get all their armor on.
You're being invaded. Find
This
them
freaking
before they
invader.
find you. Your light
Ah
supercharged.
shit, we started the damage phase.
Turn up the heat on that primeval. Invader down.
And it wasn't
Nice.
all for naught. Just not what this about.
Guardian down.
What? Oh.
Here did the case of Gabriel assert itself on this shit.
No, there was this captain just like hanging out at the, the
Don't
little
you hate
bus
it when the
spot.
other team is not
Looked
on
like
the same
two of
page
us.
as you and instead they're still actually sending blockers
Yeah.
while you're trying to fight a prime evil?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like if there were ropes, the proverbial ropes, I feel like we have them.
Allies headed
And it
to
only
the
took
other
2
side.
phases. That's insane. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe I
that's
need to
really
keep
good.
reaping.
You should continue reaping.
I'm a collector at heart, but I'll keep reaping for you. Besides, the armor is my favorite color, green. I see how it is. Just make me a self-healing rift, huh? Good
Being
gravy.
invaded. Find
All right.
them before they find you.
I'm heading up. Oh, I see him. He's in the middle. No, he's right by us. He's right by us.
I don't see
Yeah,
him.
because he's dead.
Hey, you fight dirty.
Ah!
Okay.
Sorry. I had to get that out.
Okay.
Okay. My Ariana's vow is kind of dry
nice.
right now, so if we can peg him with every powerful thing we have, including supers, we might be able to kill him this phase. Oh yeah, he's dead. It's over.
Yeah,
Grenade!
he's done.
You made that look simple.
Damn. Why are we so good?
Ah,
Why are we so good?
that was very good.
Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice.
That's
how you warm it up?
Pretty
That's how you warm up the
I'll
old
have
thumbs.
everything I'll need. Good work today. Go home and count your money. while
Go
you
home and
can.
count your money. Yeah, I bet. 27 motes, nice. Very nice, very nice, very nice. I see you. I see you out there.
Yeah.
Collecting them motes.
Yes, I like collecting the motes.
Yeah,
It's fun.
I like Gambit Prime. I feel like it's very generous to you if you're playing well. And even in those cases, I feel like there's no such thing as a guaranteed win. Did you see that clip of me and oh no, you didn't see it yet. The there's no I in lose clip is me literally pulling a team back from the brink at the last possible moment. Like, the team was gonna lose. That was it. I got match made into this game that was almost over with a team that was damn near on the verge of losing, even though it was very close. So I run in, I invade, kill 3 of them to buff the primeval, and then when one of them invades, he gets bowed in the face. And then time ran out, and our primeval was less damaged. So, ha.
Nice. Okay, so where to next? Should we go pick up the last lore card from?
Yeah, let's. You wanna head to the moon? Let's head to the moon.
Mars? Okay.
Oh, and you didn't say what level I was. I'm gonna start cackling again. Hold on.
Are you level like 116 or something?
No, I'm not level 116. I'm flattered, but thank you. No, I'm not.
Oh, you're level 169?
Yes, I am.
How is that even possible? Doesn't it only go up to 100?
It did go up to 100 until it didn't.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
No. The last reward on the battle pass is indeed at level 100. Yes. But it keeps going up after that. Because you still earn. Because you still get power bonuses, and I think every 5 levels they give you a nostalgic engram.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so you can still level it up. 100 a good while ago. I mean, you gotta get your money's worth from this thing. One of the last things you get when and I don't know if this stuff we're gonna see. I don't know if this stuff disappears after the season's over. So I had no idea of knowing like whether or not that Clash of Swords emote that we used, that's the level 99 bonus. The Ariana's Vow ornament that you get at level 100. The Vex ship with the moss all over it was level 90.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you should be able to keep that stuff. I think the stuff that does disappear is the stuff that gives you extra levels,
the artifact
right?
does, but I don't know about this pass. I don't know about the pass. Something tells me that this pass is gonna go, and with it, all of the loot.
I mean, it's gonna go away, and that you can't get it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right? Not it disappears from your.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, it did initially start with a 90-day timer on it.
Yeah.
And we're like, you guys have 3 months to do this. Is it any? Or does the armor keep reappearing in it?
The armor does keep reappearing.
Okay, it's not just me. All right. Because I'm sitting here like, I swear I picked this stuff up. Like, I did intentionally sit on some armor pieces because I realized that they went up with your levels. But at this point, I think I picked all of them up already. You're just, like Daenerys' resources. Oh, you only redeemed half the weapons. Oh, only half. Oh, okay, there's the other half.
The fight continues.
All right. Ready? You want to talk to Aerith?
Yep, just did it. What are we getting today?
Okay.
I didn't get nothing. Oh,
Whispers
the
in
Cambrian
the
explosion?
somewhere in
Wait,
this. Oh,
you got
that's
a
not what I
different
have. I have. Well, I guess I don't have the card yet. I was gonna read what she said.
Oh, she says the same thing every week. Okay, read it. She says the same.
No, she doesn't. It's different.
Yeah.
Different. Okay. Somewhere in the space between it all, between the truth and the lies, between the power and the weakness, between day and night, I have lived. In the gray. I believed, not by choice, but by force. Chaos reigned, and I embraced it. But ultimately, thought to regain equilibrium. Now, however, if these stories are true, I wonder, perhaps there is only chaos. Perhaps it is the only thing worth embracing. Damn, Eris has definitely turned the corner here.
Yeah? How so? Why do you feel that way?
Because at the beginning, she was like, oh, you shouldn't trust what it
Mm-hmm.
says. It's lying, but hey, let's just study it because we
Yeah.
gotta. And now she's like, oh, I've lived this way, but now I'm thinking there's another way to do things. Maybe I should just embrace the chaos. Like, what?
Dear, I'm telling you, I know I started out this game thinking like, the darkness is evil, the darkness is the worst thing ever, the darkness is the reason all the things happen to everybody in the universe, the traveler for life. And you know what? The longer I spend time in this world and the more I learn about its nature, what created it, what causes the beings that inhabit it to tick, I have, I don't think everything is so black and white. And I realize I've only been hearing
Hmm.
everything from one side.
Did Zavala send you?
Not about to say I'm
Yeah.
about to start, going to the Sunday service of the darkness, but I mean, I think their perspective is a very interesting one and says a lot about this world and the way it turns.
All right.
You know,
So we have the Cambrian explosion. Let's see what the darkness has to say this week.
sure. While you're doing that, I'm going to crab around a bit.
Okay.
Wow, all of the nightmare hunts are unlocked. That's unusual and new. Never seen that before. Like they're all unlocked.
This is interesting.
The entire moon
Alright.
is red.
What's
The moon is red.
what's
Like
unlocked?
all of the nightmare hunts are on at the same time. Like there's just red spots all over the moon. It's freaky.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's called the Cambrian explosion. What?
You're like, oh yeah, it happened. Okay, whatever. The Cambrian explosion. It's alright, fine. Ni-
Because you said that if I was reading this, I thought it had something to do with
Maybe
what
it
I was reading.
does. Maybe there's a reason there's nightmares all over the moon now, instead of just 3 or 2. There's nightmares everywhere. Moon's haunted.
It's like the most. It still is, yes. But all right,
Had to get that out of my system.
Cambrian explosion. Beings who deserve no thought. Those who peddle the tired gotcha that all life hastens entropy.
Uh-oh.
They're fatuous little nihilists who pretend to prefer no existence to a flawed one. They bore me. Those who seek to delay the challenge that all things desiring existence must overcome. Those who describe false moral equivalence. Now, I could not possibly communicate with you unless I could emulate your mind. And with that mind, I acquired the moralities that govern you. By your laws, I and all my followers
That is a
are
vex.
evil. Evil! Since that first molecule coiled into the primordial sea, not one earthborn thing has known a monster like me. But did you know that I created you?
What?
Your mind and your body and every thought you've ever had. Your senses, your consciousness. I made you. Not the gardener, but I. Did I reach out and place my special mark upon you? No, nothing so crude.
Okay.
In the beginning, your world was a garden too. The whole floor of the world sea was a mat of bacteria, and the very first animals, adorable little blobs of ooze, grazed upon that mat in endless
God.
idle. They had no concept of the existence of other beings. Why would they? Their most complex function was a kind of gentle spasm, to scoot forward while they grazed. And if they bumped into each other on that warm seabed, all they did was ooze onward untroubled. There was nothing to their life except the uptake of carbon compounds from the bacterial bed. And then, one day, the fall occurred. So much earlier and so much more necessary than your myths remember. Some poor mutant discovered that it could collect carbon compounds much faster if it stopped grazing on the bacterial mat and started dissecting and eating the lumps of pre-digested carbon all around it.
Wow.
Its neighbor oozeballs. It couldn't help but do it. It couldn't help but thrive. We don't get a choice about the rules, we just play the game. It was the first defector, the first predator. It changed everything. Now the oozeballs needed sensors to watch for danger and brains to integrate those senses and generate plans of survival, and swift neurons and muscles to enact them.
Wow.
Guardians,
That was
we're
the
detecting
Cambrian
a war set
explosion,
coming down
the
in
great
that region.
birth of complex life in
ensure it's safe
your world.
transport home.
I caused it.
That's intel
I,
we
the
can
defector,
use.
the destroyer, the one who takes. This is bananas, man. I love this so much.
That is very, very interesting. That's very compelling. It sounds like a Vex, doesn't it?
You think that sounds like a vet?
It did at first. It sounded like a Vex. Well, because it said something about, you know, that it had copied our form, and that it was responsible for our creation. And I mean, what were the things that were like constantly caught in that cycle of fighting and death and creation in the previous lore cards? You don't think it potentially could have been Vex, or?
You know what?
Like,
I
why are they
think we're missing a lore card
like it?
that isn't here yet, because I know there's one that actually describes the Vex, and this is not Vex. This is just the darkness telling us that it created the first predator, and it was like a bacteria.
Yeah, it was the bacteria that found a more efficient way to feed off of the surrounding organisms for its sustenance.
Other bacteria.
Rather than
Yeah.
just taking it from the same place as everybody else. He's like, why don't I just eat the people? And we're like, no, you do.
Yeah.
You don't eat the people. No, you don't. No. That's it. Society's collapsed. We've gone full
Like
Lord of the Flies.
I think what we need to do one day is, once we get all these cards, read them all in order. I think that would be fun.
I think that would be very interesting, yes. Just read them and like parse them out.
That would be really cool.
I
But
have
alright.
no idea what I'm doing. This is the most
So you
It's like a war sat down, but there's like hive knights and swords. I'm like, what's going on the moon? This is the most bizarre war sat down I've ever seen. Why are there hive swords? I'm in
okay,
the
that
hell
is
now.
weird.
Sorry, don't mind me. Just kicking copious amounts of booty. Anywho, that was alright. I like this week. This week was good. The Cambrian explosion. Okay.
Yeah, that was cool.
So, you know, I really like these like parallels with like cells and entropy, and because it does seem like the darkness is very convinced that if it isn't evil, it's a necessary one because it provides balance, so that the scales don't tip too far in favor of one organism or one species or one prevailing entity. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like their entire purpose is to just balance the scales and provide constant growth and evolution. Because, I mean, you know, what happens if a race of things is around for centuries, millennia? I don't know. Just ballparking here, but does the world change? Like, if you eventually get to a point where everyone is perfect, everything is the same, everything is uniform, like a Vex planet, is that real progress or evolution, or is that stagnant? Do you stop evolving if that happens? Should you be put in a position where you have to stop evolving?
I don't think that you should be put in that position, no. But I think that, isn't that really up to you?
I think it's the goal of any and all sentient life to preserve said life for as long as, you know, possible. And if you were to happen across a power or ability or level of cognizance where you could potentially stretch that into infinity,
Where did it go?
eliminate the limits, so to speak, I can see why that might be dangerous for eventually for other organisms in that same space. You know what I mean? Like natural selection, the way things do happen, tragic as it may be, do happen to some degree to keep the planet in check. You know, we had to obliterate them dinosaurs, dear. We would not have skyscrapers right now. You know, like something just becomes a little bit too much, and the world is like, well, gonna have to slowly and strategically get rid of this thing. It's keeping the other organisms from organisming.
Well, isn't the prevailing theory that an asteroid actually took out most of the dinosaurs?
Absolutely. Where did asteroids come from?
Space.
Why did this have to happen, dear? I feel like it had to happen, though. I mean, the tar pits were already kind of getting them, but the asteroid is definitely credited with, you know, the final death blow. But stuff like the tar pits was already getting dinosaurs like left and right. Like, what the fuck is this? Ah! You know.
Did you know that you probably knew this, birds
Are descendants of dinosaurs?
are they're the closest descendants of dinosaurs that we have
Oh
today.
yeah, are you asking me whether or not I knew that I had 3 little raptors? Just that, yeah, thoroughly convinced. I can tell by the way they walk. You know, they walk like predators. You've seen Cabbage dive bomb something. Tell me that's not his inner pterodactyl who's coming out. Pterodactyl. Tried to call him Cabbage, dear. I wanted him to be an herbivore, but against my best wishes, she started feeding the birds meat, and now they're starting to walk like dinosaurs. I don't know what to do. So, you want to join me over here? I kind of want to do a part of this Eris quest, as long as we're on the moon. I feel like we've been just leaving exotics on the table. I'm dead. Well, it's over here in the Hellmouth, near me. So if you'd like to join me, I'm just,
Oh no!
Guardian down.
The Curse of Gabriel. Right on time.
I fell into a thing. But yes, I was heading
Well,
towards
if it makes you feel any better, the same thing happened to me a second ago. I fell straight into one of the Hellmouth's too many cracks. Also, if you want to do a Nightfall the Ordeal, you can ordeal it up as well.
So cold.
I love playing Nightfall the Ordeal. There's always a good chance for you to get like a crispy. That, and I can stand to kill more things with Ariana's now. This is the best, Lord. Ouch. Man, I forgot about the Vex offensive. You know, I think of maybe the hundreds of undying lions we presumably have killed. I think I'm probably only responsible for like maybe 10 of them.
All is lost.
So I
Yeah.
usually play the Vex offensive when I'm with you.
Same.
Like, I like it. It's a really fun way to get your master twerking up. There's just so many enemies. But other than that, you know, aside from chasing some god rolls, I'm like,
Alright, now how do we start
I
this
do
quest?
like the added knowledge that Osiris has been watching the entire time, though. And apparently by killing the Undying Mind, we fucked up the timeline. Apparently we messed the timeline up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because now they want to reset time to before the red. They basically want to invalidate Destiny 2. We're about to play Destiny 2, Days of Future Past.
I kind of love that
Retcon.
because think of the possibilities. Yeah, the Vex are like, yeah, that was a dark period in Destiny's history. Can we get a do-over?
Can we
on that
retcon
one?
all of that? Can we make Mercury better than a circular room with a pyramid in the background? Can the infinite forest exist in 3 separate timelines instead of just... I swear we said that. I feel like at some point during the whole Curse of Osiris kerbaffle, excuse me. I think it was when we went to the simulant future to see Saint-14. It was like, why can't we do this at will? Like, why can't we go to the simulant past,
Yeah.
and the simulant present, and the simulant future, and just explore Mercury in these time periods as we see fit? Like, why isn't this a thing? Why is it only in this mission? This is so cool. This looks so
Yeah.
cool. I mean, the simulant future does not look cool, but the simulant past is quite beautiful.
The simulant future is
It's pretty
bleak.
bleak. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like they managed to snuff out the sun in the simulant future. Where the
Yeah.
sun used to be is just this big black ball, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, that's
Love how
not
they
cool.
left Gaul's shift just floating out there. It was still floating out there. They didn't take the time to like clean that up. It's just still floating out there. You guys happy with littering?
Nah, they were like, he's done. We don't need anything else.
So did we go over trailer thoughts yet? Did we talk about how we felt about this trailer? About this because I mean, you know, as a
No.
Destiny player, you always have. I think there's always like someone somewhere that's like, God, why you keep playing that game? Because they don't get it. And not to say that we are of some elite,
Yeah.
that we are some elite level of gamer that people, normal people can't reach. It's that there is something extremely likable about the way Destiny presents itself. And as far as it being a shooting game, you know, it provides that all too important context for the shooting. And it just happens to be this really interesting lore, these fully realized worlds, these characters. It's like every time I see a trailer for a new expansion or piece of content for Destiny, it reminds me just why I like it so much. And this trailer was no exception for me. It reminded me again why I keep playing this crazy game. Like, I was genuinely excited.
Same, you know. Every time you think it's about to get, what's the word? Boring. They find a way to keep you hooked.
I wouldn't even say
Especially. Sorry.
You okay? It also sounds like you're chewing on your microphone. What is that noise?
No,
Have you gone mad?
I started snacking and... No. I started snacking on some shell mix because I thought you were gonna talk. But,
I can hear it screaming in agony as you chew.
You know, where did you even go?
I'm over
Oh,
by
there you are.
this gate that's opening. Just gonna smack this gate load in the teeth a little bit, you know. Bubble.
You know, just when you think you're about to swear off Destiny because they're not doing the right thing or whatever. Like, that's kind of how I felt when Forsaken came out. Or right before it came out. Because if you recall, we had gone through 2 expansions. Full of crabs.
Well, well, alright. Yes. I will concede that while Warmind was not as bad as Curse of Osiris, Warmind was nevertheless... I feel like Warmind came off worse than Curse of Osiris did. Because while Curse of Osiris simply represented unrealized potential, as far as storytelling and level design and setting, Warmind just felt like a blatant slap in the face. Like, Warmind retconned parts of the lore. It pretty much destroyed Anna Bray's character. It destroyed everything that made Rasputin interesting and unique. And then on top of that, it ended on some confusing ass cliffhanger that meant nothing, and I felt nothing when it ended. It was like, wait, what happened here? Wait, what happened? What just happened here? Wait, Anna Bray said what? Wait, did Rasputin just say I'm not taking commands from humans anymore, and I am my own master, and I'm gonna take my powerful weapons and do with them which I see fit, And Zavala's like, what have we done? And Anna Bray's like, we got this, which are two completely conflicting sentiments after a giant god robot who shot down the Traveler just said that he's no longer going to listen to anyone but himself. Did Rasputin just become Skynet? Are we all going to die? Like, I was so annoyed.
I mean, alright,
and
to be
confused.
fair, that's not what Rasputin
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No,
Yes,
he
did.
said, you know, okay, so from the beginning of Destiny, we've had, you know, we've always been trying to get Rasputin on our side. Because he's, you know, the war mind, or a war mind, we thought at the time.
Jessica.
And...
and what?
What?
I know, but I'm going to tell you exactly what he said verbatim, because you clearly don't remember what he said. Go on.
Alright, so he said, you know, I will protect, you know, Earth or humanity or whatever at my best judgment. Like, he's gonna make the decisions as to how he's gonna help us. We're not gonna be controlling him, which is kind of what I thought was the case before, you know, to be completely honest. I thought that the reason we wanted a war mind is because a war mind is a tactical mind that, you know, figures out war. Yeah. 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 And people, yeah. Mhm. And Anna Bray speaks to it or something. I don't know. When you, yeah, he's speaking Russian or music or whatever. Like, I don't know. What I yeah. Yeah, and Warmind, we got to hear him speak in that cutscene. Where did you go? Like, you keep leaving me behind. Are we doing this quest or not? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright. Um. Mm-hmm. Does he listen to Queen? Oh. I mean, that's not what he said, though. He said, I am the guardian of all I survey. Say that again. He does not have an equal. It's very true. Yeah. Well, usually it conveys arrogance, but in Rasputin's case, he's absolutely correct. There is no one like Rasputin in our. Because the Vala wanted to control him from the beginning. From the beginning. Since Destiny 1, that's what the Vala's been trying to do, yes. Eh, mhm. In the first game.
You have wandered far from one enemy's dreamland to another.
I guess. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to hear that again. That'll be fun. He didn't.
Does anyone copy? Anyone?
That's true. You know what's interesting? I feel like that tiny bit of lore has been completely ignored in Destiny's 2 main line. Like you hear Prince Aldrin say it, you know. Yeah, so the what you're saying right now is, Rasputin Shop the Traveler came from Prince Aldrin's. Okay, so that the exact thing that you're saying came from Prince Aldrin's lore cards, where he says, I have. He likes trolling Guardians. He likes tricking us into dismantling armor that we need. And he likes saying things like Rasputin shot the traveler. which I thought was cool because other than in that instance, that whole bit of lore where, in Destiny 1, yeah, and he activates, right, and he like activates, what is that? Pseudo, altruistic, pseudo altruistic response in the Traveler. So you see that Rasputin thought that the Traveler was leaving, and he ran a protocol that he had created to stop him from doing that. Stop it from doing that. I'm assuming the Traveler's gender right now. So right. So at no other point is that ever brought up again. That is the only time when it's brought up, and it's brought up by Aldrin, who we know at that point in time couldn't really be trusted.
Does anyone copy? Anyone?
So
Guardian
I'm
down.
wondering if they're like trying to like if they're gonna if that's a bit of lore that they're kind of retconning, or I don't know. I'm just curious.
The light. They're eating our light.
Darkness. It could be, it could just be, it was defending us from the darkness. I mean, that's what everyone else thinks. It was defending us from the darkness. I mean, that's why. Okay. I mean, I don't know, but okay. So okay, kind of obsessed with the Traveler's butt right now, but all right. Okay, just your light comes from the Traveler's butt. Okay, got it. So, that's what you actually just said that. It doesn't have a butt. It's a giant orb. What do you mean it's butt? All right, I'm about to tell you what another theory says. Okay, so if you remember, how do you remember the Books of Sorrow? Okay, so if you remember, here's a quick review. The Hive were these kind of krill people who, and fundament, and their father became convinced that a Zizigi, or a god wave, was coming, and it was going to destroy their people, right? Um, Not CCG, CCG was coming and was going to destroy their people. So, you know, so what is the quest line? Okay. All right. So, after the Hive sisters do their, you know, do their thing, and they become, you know, the beings we know as the Hive, they find out that, hey, you know, this God wave that we
Will
thought
you
was
be
coming,
prepared?
it's actually
Or
real.
will you be
And what it is,
bored?
it's like a gravitational attack that, you know, it does create like this massive gravitational pull that drives a wave that destroys everything. And, okay, so. I mean, it's not like a machine like Halo is. It's okay. So, okay. If you fast forward to where the Awoken are, you know, trying to leave the system and kind of encounter the darkness on their way out of the system, their experience with it. Oh, damn. Okay. Their experience with it is similar. It was like this gravitational pull
I can't bring him back.
that.
There were too many everywhere, devouring his light.
Oh, we found this ghost thingy.
I
Oh, did
need
you
to
find
find
that?
the others.
You
I
found
need
that.
to tell them.
Oh, that's so cool. Nice. Oh my god, that's so cool. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Nice. Okay. So, long story short, it seems that the darkness uses gravitational forces as a way of attacking whomever it is currently, I don't know, whatever civilization it is currently consuming. So, I mean, the butt of the traveler, as you say, being missing could also be a consequence of that. Mm. Mm. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Oh, okay. Okay. Mhm. Oh, that's insane. Did we do the pit of sorrow? Oh. Mhm. Mm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, I don't know anywhere either. It looks crazy. Yeah. I think I went for the collector stuff at first, and then I went for the sentry stuff. Mm. It's a little bit deep. Oh, oh wow, I don't see that at all,
Luna,
but I'm glad you had it.
forever haunted
I
by
mean,
the
I was
Hive's
able,
vile corruption. But
I think,
we will turn
yeah, I'm
their
doing it with
wicked
you.
sins against them.
Oh, I already
Find
did this, I
Tonin,
think.
Guardian. Let his shattered mind guide you.
No, I think you were here when we did it. Unless I don't know. I don't know. Unless I'm thinking of something else entirely. No, that's how I got the, let's see. The Symphony of Death? What? Called what? What? So that means we gave it to him somehow. Yeah. Man, that would be so cool. Did you just die?
The siren call of the Death Singers pervades the minds of those with little strength. Step beyond the threshold and display your power.
Wow. Yeah, I think we did this. Yeah. Well, so then how did you do the Symphony of Death mission if you didn't have this quest?
Guardian down.
Ah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, and now we talk to gather the Sound Skull. Okay.
The skull of the devoted belongs to you now. There is great power in it. Should you find a path to wield it.
Okay, so wait, do you have the Symphony of Death? I mean, I would acknowledge it, except I feel like we've already been doing this mission. Yes, thank you, Will Smith. Um, it wouldn't be dead air. We'd be talking about actual stuff that's happening. Because, as I've been trying to tell you, it's...
Have you heard the call of the death song?
Okay, so remember...
Do you remember its
Okay,
tune?
so remember last week we were doing that
Madness
whole...
and decay and
Oh, wait a
destruction
minute.
of the
Okay, so wait.
flesh.
So,
Its
remember
terrible
that whole
melody can
emerge
be
from
ours.
the... Oh, maybe that's different. I don't know. Okay. Okay.
The fight continues.
I guess I was confused as to which quest it was.
Use it well. It is yours.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. I did, but I already did all the bone collecting. Now I need to go to, let's see. It says, enter the Scarlet. It says, enter the Scarlet's Keep Strike and slay the High Conductor, Silmakta within. That's what I need to do next. Yeah, after you do, it says, and it says, slay the High Conductor, Silmakta within. So there's a Scarlet's Keep Strike that I should do in order to make progress in this quest. No, I just did the part that you're gonna start now already. I conducted all the stuff. Oh, yeah. Let me see. Actually, I don't think so. Let's see. Did the strike on the what the hell? These stupid hives keep shooting me when I'm trying to go in my menu. Damn. Um, I don't think so. Oh, I want to do that. Wait, get a bone? Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, no, it says. All right, I'm fine. I'm gonna follow you. Mhm. We did. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of just all over. This way? Street justice. But you're rolling down the street in your 6'4"? Is that what you're doing? Okay, good. It looks very nice. Oh, it's It's an ogre. Jeez. I didn't mean to. I was just standing here. The Helen Keller bubble with
Guardian down.
ah! I touched the aura. Yeah, I think it's timed. All right, so where is the? Ah! Yeah. Uh. No, nothing. No, it's fine. Damn. No, mine's okay. That's true. I did. That was cool. If I didn't see it until I wasn't sure you were joining. I don't know. I've been sending you invites for like the half hour. Mhm. Mhm. Oh jeez. Mhm. Colin does lead you in some adventures. What happened? I... You were doing that now? I figured you'd do that later.
Yeah, of course. I was doing it later after the stream ended, so you wouldn't see me with it all on now. Uh-huh. Sarcasm so thick you could cut through it with a hive sword.
Aw, man.
That's what you get. That's what you get for constantly putting yourself in the position of the straight man. That's what you get. You can treat me like a crazy person. You're also the first person to say when I'm not crazy. So I know you want it. I know you want it, crazy. I know you want it. I know you want it.
Okay, Pitbull. Pitbull Jr.
Pitbull did the...
Black Pitbull.
Pitbull's already black. Pitbull did the soundtrack for Gotti. And that is such an inexplicably baffling decision that I feel like now I have to see the movie based on principle, because this may be the greatest movie we've never seen. Because Pitbull did the score. I mean, what more do you need to know about the Gotti movie than Pitbull did the soundtrack?
Pitbull.
Because he is the first choice for
Obviously.
a biopic.
That would have been
John
my
Gotti.
first choice.
What kind of music would perfectly capture the essence of the Teflon Don himself? I know! Pitbull! Holy...
I mean, that's what I was
timeline is
thinking.
this? Oh, good. I wasn't ready for it, but he totally did. I feel like we just need to like take a chunk of the afternoon, cue it up on Spotify, and see exactly what went down on the Gotti soundtrack. I bet it's on Spotify. I need to see it.
I bet you it is.
How do you think it sounds? How do you think that sounds, dear?
You know what? I don't have anything that I can imagine in mind, and I think that's why this is so baffling.
That's to the project's credit and also its detriment. Like, how do you think this sounds, honestly?
I don't know. I can't really.
No way for me to accurately predict. Uh-oh. We're down to the last crystal. Are you ready for... Okay, you're shooting it anyway. Alright. I was just gonna say, hey man, you wanna run around and get some ammo? Excuse me, you wanna not be a crab person? But you know, I'm nothing if not understanding like crabs. Oh god. Just hammering the bubble. Hammering the bubble. Putting ankles in it. Don't forget, hun, weapons of light outside the bubble, armor of light inside the bubble. The bubble holiday. You cannot shoot out of the bubble.
Ooh.
Alright, is there a bone in this chest? Ritualistic bone! I just got boned ritualistically, like midsummer.
You just...
You know, if you were to ask me where these things, I don't know where they come from, hun. That's the first place my brain went.
Just got boned ritualistically, just like midsummer. Oh, can I go in here? Is there a thingy in here?
But do you have the decryption keys or the? You have them unlocked. Uh-oh.
I do.
Firewall data fragments.
I have a thingy.
Right. Well.
Yes. You want to come in here and get a cracker, or feed the thing a cracker? Oh, you're next to... Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Did I not say earlier that real G's move in silence, like lasagna?
This is crazy.
It is. I still love this porthole. Hey, where's the jade rabbit? Anybody seen a
It's
rabbit?
back there.
Rabbits in here? No?
Yes!
Wow, you're seeing stuff I'm not seeing. I guess because I already did it, I don't see it. No, because I remember I did it the last time we were here. So maybe that's why. Maybe the rabbit only appears once per guardian.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. I'm comfortable with that. So yeah, do I look like an ornate Saint-14? Do I just have my, you know, I have my shoulder intensifying?
You do look very
Thank you,
nice.
thank you. If only I tried to masterwork this stuff first, but I ended up really liking the way the Iron Will stuff looked.
Oh, hey. You can see Earth from
Yeah,
here.
that isn't that porthole something? Isn't that porthole?
That's
something?
really cool.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, that's nice.
This is
I'm glad you
cool.
got your rice cake out. I'm glad you got that out of your system. Is there a public event in the Hellmouth?
But if you can only give it to it once, why do you get so many rice
I've
cakes?
dismantled it, and I don't think it. I think it gives you like glimmer or something. I have no idea. You got me, boo boo. It's one of those weird things, you know. The game just does it because why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You might need more rice cakes in case he gets hungry. Okay, so collect bones from your bones and other bones from your other bones. You want to bone next? Do you feel like boning your way over to some nightmare hunts? Would you like to do a Nightfall the Ordeal? There is also the small matter of the weekly heroic. That can be crabbed. I'll be parse. You know, or. And there's always or. Yeah. We can do or.
I think we can do a Nightfall the Ordeal and then call it a night.
You,
if you like.
get your chalice up so you can slot 2 rooms, okay? And then we can really make good use of the menagerie. One of the best solar machine guns
Okay.
is a menagerie. It's called the fixed odds. It's how I was able to get the edgewise. I realized you needed to do it with a solar machine gun, and I'm not the biggest fan of the avalanche. So, I mean, I don't mind the avalanche, but it wildfires, and I like my machine guns to be accurate and precise. So the avalanche didn't really appeal to me, but the fixed odds is basically, it's got the body, it's got the same body as the Thunderlord and the Hammerhead. So it's a heavy impact, you know, accurate machine gun. I like that. Have you ever used the Hammerhead?
I have.
You forged a Hammerhead?
That sounds familiar.
It's the Black
Maybe I
Armory
didn't.
machine gun. You gotta forge it.
Oh, no.
Here, you're,
No, I didn't.
you're leaving game on the table. On the table. We have to do Black Armory. We have to menagerie. Okay? We're leaving chunks of Destiny on the table. Talking about just when I thought I was gonna get bored of Destiny, even though I don't play the seasonal activities and get the seasonal weapons and do the seasonal thing. You don't even have your chalice. What happened to your chalice? You're leaving game on the table. Tell him, Luke Smith. Wait. Luke Smith, if you're watching, tell her. She's leaving game on the table. No? Okay, alright. He knows. He knows. Just as long as you know that he knows, you'll come correct. You know, I don't mind doing nightmare hunts either. I want us to do a nightmare hunt and do it on like do it on the 3rd difficulty and see how that goes. I bet we could do it. I think they lock your equipment and it does get harder, but I think it's something we could do, like you and I together. I think it's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could do those. I mean, nightmare hunts are, at least for me, they seem like the Cliff Notes of strikes. They're not even that lengthy or involving. They're pretty meaty and tough, but they're not exactly like, you know, time consuming. You can do the 3 for the weekly just by playing them you do that in like under 20 minutes.
Oh, wait a minute. So I think I just did it. You only need, I think you need 2 slots, right? On the on the uh on the menagerie thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just did it.
Oh, so you have 2 slots now?
I have 2
Yes,
slots now.
queen! Wait. You have the tier 1 and the tier 2 slots, right? Yes!
Yeah.
Now you have the ability to slot in certain runes for an expected outcome. So now if you want to make a certain kind of weapon, now that you have 2 rune slots open, you can do that. So I was recommending the fixed odds. If you
Yay!
want to make the fixed odds, you can make it. The 3rd slot that you'll eventually unlock, that just allows you to determine what masterwork it gets. But the 1st slot determines the kind of weapon.
Okay.
And the 2nd slot determines its intrinsic perk. So you get a little bit of a little bit of customizability in there. Like it's literally an event where you can get it to drop exactly what you want, which is it was pretty cool, you know. You know, when I wanted the Baroque Drang, I was able to craft it with a range masterwork and everything. You know, from there it's just down to what RNGesus feels like blessing you with. And when you finish, I think they give you like 3 drops of the weapon, which is really cool because then that gives you 3 different chances at getting the roll you want. But yeah, would you like to know how to make the menagerie machine gun?
Yeah. How do you make it?
Okay, so the menagerie machine gun, it is called the oh wait, I keep calling it the fixed odds. I don't think that's what it's called. I think it's, isn't it like bad omens or something? Oh, I put it in the drawer. Oops. Whoops. Hold on. Need to check my inventory before I accidentally have you make a sidearm or something. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. You can make the callus mini tool, which is basically a callus version of the Mida mini tool. Ah, here we go. Okay, yeah, see, I am totally a boob. It is a heavy machine gun. There's also a sniper rifle called the Beloved. Oh yeah, it is called the fixed odds. All right.
Oh, I have the Beloved.
Oh, nice. All right, so okay, so in slot 1, you're going to be putting in the Rune of Ambition.
Rune of Ambition. Rune of Desire, Rune of Jubilation, Rune of Pride, Rune of okay, here we go.
Rune of Ambition goes in slot 1, and in slot 2 is any blue rune. Just make sure, okay, I've seen be fuzzy on colors, okay? Make sure it is a blue rune and not a green rune, because they kind of look alike. I don't know.
I have purple runes.
You don't have any blue runes? Like, hold on. I'll look at my chalice and I'll tell you what the blue runes be. Let's see. I have too many of these things. You know why? Because I kept doing those stupid treasure maps every week. I was doing treasure maps and Werner bounties, and I have too many runes. Okay, so what the fook? Oh, I can't see what color they are because the blue runes are pleasure, excess, and wealth.
Yeah, I don't have any of those. No. I have green, I have red, and I have purple.
You got
I don't have any blue
runes? Wait a minute. Wait. Oh no, you have to have rune compatibility 3.
Yeah.
You have to have rune compatibility 3 on your chalice. Sorry. How many Imperials do you need to unlock that?
A ton. I need 6,000.
Well, you know what that means. It's time to pick up them Werner bounties.
I actually have a map right now that I need to cash in.
Okay, so do you want to go and cash in that map and then run and do our nightfall? We'll chalice you up sometime. It's alright. We were almost there. and that's what matters. You know?
Yeah.
I have like 3 maps that I'm sitting
Alright,
on.
so one in the
Hmm?
Well of Radiance.
The Well of Radiance.
Where is that? Wait, no, not the Well of Radiance. The Well of
That
Fire.
sounds like Nessus.
The Well of.
The Well of Flame is on Nessus.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
The Well of Flame on Nessus. Yes, correct. Okay.
Yep. And the only reason I know that is because of all the times I went back there for a treasure chest. And not anything else. These maps taught me a lot. They taught me how large some of these places are. It's like, I have no, like, why would you ever go there for any other reason? But it's there. It's there all the same. Alright, I'm ready to leave when you are.
Okay.
Traveling to new destination. Oh, heaven. Snatch me out of midair. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Alright, here we are. Vegetarian fluid.
Oh shoot, I forgot to take a screenshot of the perfect paradox. Damn it. Dang it all. Yeah, I was gonna take a screenshot of it for the
I'm
post.
sure it'll be fine. You can just.
But I didn't get around to it.
You can take
Yeah,
one
yeah,
now.
they upload pretty fast. I can just edit it.
Are you doing that public event?
No.
No. Okay.
What song is this?
This music is like so epic sounding.
You know what this about. Oh gosh. Ah!
What happened? Was that a sneeze?
Yes.
Okay, bless you. I wasn't sure. It sounded like a sneeze cough.
Oh, Javis. It was really powerful. You know the ones you can feel coming? The ones that may or may not be, you know, what they are. You just gotta throw caution to the wind and hope that you don't die in the process of it coming out of your face. Well, that's what went down. Okay, I wasn't sure. My head was cocked. I was bobbleheading like a Mortal Kombat character. I just didn't know it, and then it just shot out of my face. I don't know what to say. Just.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely came from my light. Now I know they called it the collapse. Jeez, my entire face hurts. Why did that happen? Stop laughing at me. They're always laughing at me. Stop laughing. Stop it. Gee. I'm gonna shoot this fallen cat. Oh goodness. Oh. I got slapped by a fallen captain. It wasn't even like he wasn't even using his extra arm either. He hit me with one of the primary arms. That's just embarrassing. I really like this machine gun from this pinnacle machine gun thing. It's really nice. It fires as fast as the 21% delirium, but it has the stability of a hammerhead. The 21% delirium is the Gambit machine gun, the pinnacle gun. Yeah, it overflows its magazine when you pick up heavy ammo on its own. So basically, when you whip that bad boy out, it's got like a clip of 203. That's a lot, dear. Yeah, that's Sweet Business. Okay, to put that in perspective, Sweet Business has a clip of 150. The overload perk on the 21% delirium makes its magazine 209 just by virtue of you picking up the ammo off the ground. Did you make it into the Wall of Flame and get your thingy?
I did. I'm just wondering, like, you know when you go into the Wall of Flame and then you go into that
Oh, there's like a whole other area?
There's like that whole little... Yeah, like what even is this? I don't understand. What is happening
Weird
here?
freaky shit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, something's telling me that it's like, I don't know if we're going to indulge that at some point during the next expansion, or this is one of those things where it's like it's a living, breathing part of the world, and you have no idea what it does. Until you do.
You think this is the sundial?
Ooh, you know what? I wouldn't put it past it, though I would assume that sounds like a Mercury activity. It being a sundial and all, but, you know. Stranger things have happened.
Oh yeah, that's true. Then
hey, stranger things have happened.
I don't know.
You could probably probably activate it from here. You know, who knows? You know, part of the excuse me. Sorry. You know, part of the Destiny experience is replaying old content so that you can bolster the new content.
Yeah.
Go to Nessus and kill that thing you killed 2 years ago. What? Just do it. Okay. Okay, fine. Sorry.
Alright. So what did we say we were going to do?
Nightfall, the
as our closing activity?
With your bared teeth and ambitions in tow.
Be free.
Oh, I made it over to the Wall of Flame.
Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bared. Be free.
Your what and your whats are bared? Is this song appropriate for our audience? Are you sure?
It is. We're doing the
Well, it's
hero,
definitely more
right?
appropriate than the Chiwetel Ejiofor version, I'll tell you that. Can you feel the love today? We couldn't afford the night. The budget grew beyond capacity. What? I'm just saying.
jeez.
All right, when an entirely CG movie can't do a nighttime scene, you know what that means. Budgets. They're like, we're not relighting this. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. That cost us another $30,000 that I am not spent. Nope. Shut it down. Release it. Yeah, but what about the? Nope. Put a Beyonce song there. They won't notice.
$30,000 gonna add $3 million just to make it.
I'm just saying.
Nighttime.
Like, I mean, I can't imagine. You know, when you look at these tools, I mean, and you know what's crazy? I heard that good sweeping chunks of this was made in Unreal Engine. So the fact that they could not relight this jungle area to look like nighttime is pretty baffling. You think it'd be really easy using those tools in that suite? It's infamous for its ease of use.
Yeah.
But no, boo-boo.
I mean, I don't know what their...
That's why Rafiki had no speaking parts. They didn't want to spend the budget on the baboon's face. Or a voice actor. Robert Giliwame was right there. Robert Giliwame was right there. He's like, I haven't been in a movie in forever. I'm ready. They're going to call me any minute now to play Rafiki. He sat by his phone. And, well, rumor has it he's still sitting by his phone. Rumor has it he's still sitting there rubbing his palms together.
He's still sitting there.
He has no idea the Blu-rays come out. He's still sitting by. Yeah, he's just still sitting there. Poor Robert Giliwame. His performance as Rafiki will never be forgotten. He was I mean, who else but him could bring us Asante Sana? Squash banana. Asante Sana, squash banana.
I really like the Broadway version of it.
And I thought the woman that played
I like the
Rafiki
Broadway Rafiki.
definitely captured the spirit and the energy of that character perfectly.
Operation
And she
Taliban.
threw some Swahili
Welcome
in
to
there
the
too.
show.
I was like, yo, she's
We've got
speaking
several fire
African.
teams missing beneath the
It
arcology.
was very.
We got one
And she
report
just
a few hours
added
back,
her
but it's
own
been
like
radio
Swahili,
tweet
silent
to
since
it,
then.
which I thought was really cool.
This is
I'm not Swahili. I'm a
Rescue
raging
extremely
racist. She was
hostile
speaking
territory.
Hausa. And
The
I'm
Hive
a
are
boo.
notorious for their
Sorry about that.
cruelty.
Gotta put some respect on
Expect the
Hausa's
worst.
name. You know?
Yeah.
Those guardians are my
I feel like
responsibility.
my face is
Get
having
in,
an
get
aneurysm
out,
every time I
and
make
don't die.
that noise, but I can at least do it decently. So, Trevor Noah would not be mad at me for making the attempt. He speaks it. I'm like, damn. Yeah, because he said like the one thing he noticed was that they were actually speaking, like in the thing, that they were actually speaking that language. And he was like, damn, he really appreciated that they were actually speaking Hausa in it. So.
Wow, that's really cool.
That's his first language. He's from South Africa. You don't remember much of his early stand-up career had to do with stuff like culture shock and the fact that everything here was weird.
I do remember that.
As opposed to South Africa.
Yeah.
Where things are even weirder, but at least they're honestly weird. We're just weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes. It is a shame. I was walking around on Black Friday, went to Best Buy. The Lion King live-action movie steelbook was sitting
Looks
there.
like the Hive don't want guests.
And some small part of me was
Give
like,
me a moment. I can crack these.
steelbook. It's a steelbook. I felt like Palpatine was on my shoulder. Like, steelbook. Come on. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
But
And I was like, but no. Can you feel the love today? No. James Earl Jones sounds like he's fallen asleep. Some of his lines were not delivered with the same energy. I'm not feeling it, okay? I Can't Wait to Be King doesn't have the same energy. The hyenas have been current yeared and their dynamic obliterated. Rafiki got no voice and thus no part in the story or role in Simba's development as a character. Just I don't know if I can. Chiwetel Ejiofor did a great job playing Scar, but then they had to go and obliterate Be Prepared and throw out all that goodwill. I mean, they obliterated it. It was unrecognizable. I've never seen you so angry during a movie. Shit. Right when the
so
curse
mad.
will all come out, huh? Alright, y'all. I just want to make this easy for me, I see. Shit. I'm trying. Alright. We will live, my lovelies. Yeah. You know, the funniest thing about it was you were too busy staring at the screen like with venom in your eyes, because the moment I realized what was happening on screen, I just turned in horror and just kept staring at you. Like, I was staring at you with a horrified look on your face. Had you looked over to me, I mean, you eventually did. But the way I was looking at you was the way I was pretty much looking at you I wasn't even looking at the screen at that point. I was just looking at you for the entire scene. Just watching you shift in your seat. I was like, oh no. I'm like, we're about to get thrown out of the Alamo. She's about to throw her drink at the screen and put a hole in it, and oh man. Rip the Alamo pass.
It was a weird experience.
What, to realize it? Because you're sitting there waiting for Be Prepared to happen. And it's like, okay, Be Prepared is going to happen any minute now. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is this Be Prepared? And then you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is Be Prepared. Oh shit, no, what have they done? They turned it into a spoken word poem.
It was just bad. Like, I was like, what am I doing here right
I mean,
now?
the hierarchies.
Really?
Shenzi being the leader of the hyenas.
Like, what is even the point of this movie? Like, I already know what happens. And obviously they're not improving on anything that the original did. In fact, they're ruining it. So, should I just leave now? Like...
And the funny thing is, at least for me,
like,
The Lion King was the first time I felt that way. You could say that with every other weird Disney remake, that you did not have to take them you didn't have to take them on face value, because they were obviously reinterpretations of vastly different source material and easy to take on their own as an entity. But in the case of The Lion King, it's so one-to-one with the original that it doesn't feel like a reinterpretation at all. It feels like they're just actively ruining it by pulling massive chunks out of it. Just chunks.
We understand, but we agreed to this mission. No
There,
one's
what happened to
backing down.
being brave doesn't mean you
Commander?
go looking for trouble.
Are you there?
And I was scared, Simba. I get scared too. I was scared that I might lose you. What happened to that line?
Somewhere nearby.
What happened to
Hurry.
you have forgotten who you are and thus forgotten
my
me?
gosh.
Like, that's... I was like, why would you change the original dialogue and replace it with dialogue that's worse but means the same thing? I don't understand why you even made that change. You should have just left it alone.
Just left it alone. It was written for you 25 years
by that
ago.
crystal.
The Broadway
That's where the
play
broadcast came
knew
from.
what elements to make contemporary and which parts of the story were fundamental to its message and
Crystal was full of void light.
its message and story. And it left those parts alone. But no. Whatever monkeys are in charge of writing this thing were like, no, man.
Hello.
We can definitely cut this
Anyone
out.
in
And
here?
this. Oh, and
We're
cut
here to
this
help.
part out too.
This
Like,
doesn't
no.
add up.
Nope.
The sad part of this is that the initial, like at least the earlier version of the script was written by John August, who is an award-winning, renowned screenwriter.
John August scripts are they just leaving on the table to intrinsically ruin these movies? Didn't you also say he did Aladdin?
There's a
Oh.
network of magic running
No,
deep
you know
into
what?
the
I'm getting
arcology.
confused. I'm
You're thinking of Aladdin.
Of Aladdin.
Void light.
I don't know who
Because that's
wrote.
what you told me.
Yeah, I don't
you
know
told
who
me about
wrote.
Aladdin. You were like, he
Summon
warned you
something
all.
down
He was like,
there.
you know,
Yeah.
even though my name's on it,
Hello.
all right,
Is anyone there?
I'm not responsible
I just heard
for the
something.
final script.
Commanders of all
Yeah, he did
can
say
you
that
hear me?
about Aladdin.
And in the case,
We can hear you.
And he's not. He wasn't
the traveler.
trying to
I
shit
can
on it either.
barely
He
hear
was just
no,
like,
if you,
Let me get to a better
it's not
position.
my
like,
script. Like,
this is an
you know.
example of something
The Hive
that's
can't
indicative
summon
of. If you're
anything
trying
without
to
those
look for my
crystals.
work, this is not indicative of it. I
Yeah,
got the
this
credit
is not it.
because I
Right.
worked on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, in the case of Aladdin, which also kind of did the same thing in many aspects, and I think it was done to kind of mitigate the shortcomings of the actors. Like, I can't imagine that the movies shift from more slapstick and like parody comedy. It's switched from that to like awkward humor, and I feel like that was done to accommodate the dude they have playing Aladdin.
Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine why else so much of the humor in the movie would be like this weird deadpan kind of. Because I mean, one thing that I always felt I knew about Aladdin as a character was that he was brimming with self-confidence because he knew who he was. You know, part of the reason he shouldn't have lied
Yeah.
to be Prince Ali was because that was like him not having faith in him in who he was, when it's that same belief in who he is, and you know, that allowed him to survive on the streets for as long as he did, gave him the charisma and the personality to be a street rat but still be beloved by all the people, you know, in the marketplace, and the, you know, it's what charmed Jasmine about him. And then in this movie, he's really weird and kind of awkward. And I don't know, is he me? Or is he kind of short? So just like you were telling me that instead of the songs changing to accommodate, you know, great singers, that instead they're changing the songs to accommodate people who can't sing. I feel like some parts of Aladdin's character were changed to suit this
copy.
actor.
Are there others with you?
No,
And I guess
just
what
us
he was
down here.
capable of.
They had to
charisma-wise.
have.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's bad, but he was pretty good in the role. But it's clear that Aladdin got a little bit of a change there.
I mean, I didn't like his version of Aladdin. I'll be honest. He didn't feel like Aladdin to me. He just felt
He felt
like
like Aladdin's stunt double who sometimes fills in on Tuesdays. Like when it's time for Aladdin to slide down
yeah,
the curtain.
it's like, you know, it's like, you know, in the cartoon, you see Aladdin, you're like, you know what he's all about, basically, from the first couple of minutes you have
Through
with
the
him.
window, the
You know,
ladies
like,
the women are there, hijabbed out, and he's like, "Hey, ladies," and they're all like, it's like, yeah, see, it's Aladdin.
yeah.
He's everywhere. He's got charisma to burn. Okay, he doesn't need Will Smith to do the heavy lifting.
Well, not only, right, like, he's already a likable personality by the time you meet him. And he knows that about himself.
God.
What he doesn't have is money, right? Or
Yes,
wealth.
just the one thing. You were born a street rat, you will die a street rat, etc. But yes. But even though he doesn't have money, he still finds the beauty. He still finds the beauty in things. You know, that view that he has of the palace from his window, and the trinkets that he collects from all over the place. You know, he has dreams. He is about something. He's a
We
personality.
came down here as a squad of 9.
This guy, I don't know
Got
what he's
picked
doing.
off one by one.
Well,
Watched a wizard
awkward
rip
and
the
weird.
light out of my best friend
His Abu was not
and
cute.
funnel it into some kind of crystal.
His Abu was kind
They're
of creepy.
harvesting
Even
guardians.
though thankfully they gave him
well, he was,
expressions. I was happy about that. He got some weird facial expressions here and there, so at least they did
These
not
are all guardians.
Iago him. But... Iago.
well, what I was gonna say is that I don't think that the problem with that Aladdin is that you don't know what he wants. I mean, they gave him a purpose, but I think that well, he has the same goal as the cartoon Aladdin. I think what's different about this one is that I I think I don't think he quite captured the innocence of the original Aladdin.
That's an interesting
I
story.
think that's what's missing for me.
Okay. That purity of soul that
Because
he had.
from the minute, yeah, like from the minute you see him in the cartoon one, you're like, okay, well, he's a thief, but obviously he's stealing bread. You know,
He's
he's
giving it to the
hungry.
kids. He didn't even eat that bread.
Like, and he's giving it, right, and he's
The
giving
fool
it
was
to
like,
the
"What the fuck?"
kids. So you know what he's about originally. Like, I think that the live action Aladdin,
Didn't communicate that as well.
I feel like I had to. No, I feel like I had to be convinced that he wasn't some scumbag.
Ralph the movie maker on YouTube pointed out something very funny and very, very true and interesting, which was that, you know, from the second you see Aladdin in the original, you know who he is because he stands out. And in the in the live action one, you can't see him because he looks like everybody else on the screen. Like he has to physically turn around towards the camera for you to realize, oh, that's Aladdin. Okay, cool. Like the look of the character is not, it doesn't stand out. You have to be told it's him. It's like, oh, okay, that's Aladdin. All right, right. He looks like that guy over there, but his head is red. Ah, he's the one with the monkey on his shoulder. And, you know, I just think, yeah. You're right. But again, doesn't a lot of that boil down to charisma at the end of the day? 'Cause, I mean, I think the guy in the Once Upon a Time, you know, he looked like he had charisma about him. He had the smile.
The guy Once Upon a Time had the right
His
look.
acting.
That's really what it was
His acting.
about.
That was acting.
His acting was fine. I mean,
Uh-oh.
I mean, just to be fair. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think it's a matter of acting ability.
I keep saying charisma, not acting ability. Charisma goes a long way. I mean, there's plenty of people with charisma that can't act,
Yeah.
and there's plenty of people that can act that don't really
Yeah.
have like the screen presence to dominate or
Guardian
carry a
down.
scene or a character motivation. You know?
Yeah.
I keep going back.
That's
to
true. He lacked charisma.
I mean, what else would cause you to believe in him? Like, imagine if Robert Downey Jr. played the role of Tony Stark well, but he hadn't placed that wealth of personality on top of it. He just would have been a dick. He just would have been an asshole.
Yeah.
But that charisma makes him eminently likable. And even though you know he's not completely trustworthy, even at the beginning of the movie, there's still something about you that endears you to him as a character. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Like what I like to say.
The unstoppable ogre is gonna kill me. The
Are
unstoppable
you-
ogre is killing people.
Yeah.
And I don't have a Leviathan's breath, okay? That's not how I roll. Oh great, it's coming for me now. Bubble. Alright, Mr. Bitterman. It's you and me. Inside my bubble. If anybody wants to come in here and help, it would be greatly appreciated. They don't call them unstoppable for no reason.
I'm headed
Staring
your way.
into my bubble and going,
I'm headed your way.
silly bitch. Okay, he's dead. Oh my goodness. Unstoppable ogre just walked inside of my bubble and said, "You can't blind, but doesn't have eyes." And then he tapped his temple twice, and I said, "Wait, how do you know that meme? Who taught you that?"
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's going on there. Yeah, that'll go on the ground. Yeah, that'll be a one right there. I don't know where I get these from. These come in. I can play. I'm making good time though. I mean, 17 minutes.
Comedy gold. Oh, it's fine.
Keep telling you, I'll make a great extra on the set of. Is that another one? Do you have a bow on you? Got some breath? Got some dragon breath? That's an unstoppable one.
Nah. I guess I can equip it. I guess I can equip it. Hold
It's
on.
coming after me. It's what are you doing?
Ah!
Guardian
I was
down.
trying to equip it.
Did you not hear it was
Jesus.
walking to? Okay, I mean, I would have run completely out of this
All right.
building and then equipped it. That's just me. I am all about, you know, not being stopped. I'm gonna try and equip this thing, but I can't guarantee that it won't eat all my ammo, so I'm gonna throw caution to the wind on that notion.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a shot too.
Oh, I have 7 arrows. Look at that.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how this
I have
goes.
7. Oh shoot! Haha! Did I tell
Yep.
you I am the bow master? Get out of my face!
All right, that
Get
did
out
it.
of my house with that weak shit! I think the void charge reset again. I'll go back and get it. Well, that was productive.
Okay.
The Leviathan
Yeah, it was.
is at the same time a insanely powerful, anxiety-inducing weapon because it takes so long to knock the arrows. Like something horrible is
Yeah.
just bearing down on you, and you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna live. Well, here goes. Oh, I killed it. Alright. I guess I'll keep it equipped because aren't there unstoppable ogres in the fight?
Yeah, you should keep it equipped so I can.
Okay, I'll keep it equipped. So you can what? Don't you know, dear? I'm working
Unequip
with
it.
catalysts. Oh, so you don't have to use. I could be working on a catalyst right now. Badass. It's an exotic catalyst, okay? You can't
Are you getting? Are you getting the orb?
have the orb. You just, you know.
Oh, you have the orb.
You can't exactly jump in a sparrow while you're carrying this thing. You kind of just gotta jog and hope for the best. You know what I mean? Not exactly the fastest moving item. Boom! You just break into a light jog whenever you're carrying the
I
orb.
might have an
You know, for
idea.
urgency's sake.
Let's find Takeo.
For urgency.
I mean, obviously. Can't you feel the urgency in my light jog? Oh my gosh, 93% on this catalyst.
I can.
93% on the catalyst. We're almost there.
Takeo, we're coming to you.
We're almost
No,
there.
don't come down here.
Oh man.
Always exciting when a catalyst is about to pop. I'm trying to get one for the cold heart, but it feels like a slog. I mean, I forgot what is it? I think I have to kill
I
it.
know what to do.
How do
We
I
have to
get
turn
a
the crystals
catalyst for the
against the hive.
wrist runner? How do I
Wrist
get
runner,
But
that?
there are no powered crystals
I
in
got
this
it.
chamber. What's plan B?
Does it give you a hint on the gun?
Never mind.
Sometimes when
We're
you
going
go to
with
the
that plan.
catalyst spot and highlight
She
it,
said there
it'll
aren't
give you
any
a hint on
crystals.
how to actually unlock
Not
it.
yet.
Like for example, one of my
Okay.
catalysts, I think the catalyst for the Suros was like found in strikes against the most challenging opponents. So that basically.
Yeah, that's what it
so
says. It says found in strikes against the most
So that
powerful
means
opponents.
it drops during a nightfall.
Oh, okay.
And
Good thing we're
thankfully,
doing
for
that
our
now.
sake, that also means Nightfall the ordeal, not just the default Nightfall. So yeah, just keep doing Nightfalls, dude.
Whoa.
Like Joker correctly noted, the best thing about Nightfall the ordeal is that its rewards don't
She
run out. You can
sacrificed
actually
herself.
grind the heck out of this Nightfall and keep trying for more prisms, better god rolls, you know,
Mhm.
cool drops. You can just keep playing this over and over and it'll keep giving you things. So, if you ever want to do that, this counts. Oh gosh, that thing is hitting
jeez.
people's arc. Alright, you know, my heart of hearts is telling me to unequip the perfect paradox, but I can't.
Guardian down.
I have committed to this path tonight. Are you dead? I'm gonna bring
Yeah.
you back with my shoulders.
Woo. Frame rate just dropped.
Oh gosh! Run!
Ah, jeez.
Where are all these things coming from? Who invited them?
No in there.
Who killed this dude? What is it, oh gosh! The Osmium Traitor? Is that what it's called? Yeah, the Osmium Traitor. Traitor's dog. I wish I had the spider bounty so it'd make killing this thing worthwhile, but it's just a really annoying, powerful lizard that you should kill because it really is.
Guardian
God
down.
damn
Also
it.
a good way to get cores if you have not been getting cores that way, lizard. doing the the spiders wanted bounties. Yeah, you get an enhancement core for the entire top row. Like each of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And, you know, if a banshee bounty is a
Alright,
little bit
here
too
we are.
annoying and unmanageable, excuse me, I'm gonna have to commit to this path.
You did not die in vain.
The perfect paradox. It's a very nice shot. Okay, stop trying to be mine. You guys are stopping? Oh. Stop trying to be schnoz. Thank you, I'll be here all week.
Out of heavy.
Yes, I do remix songs.
Stop trying to be
Yes, I do remix
schnoz.
songs with, decidedly no team templates. What up? Something in fair use saying I can't do that. Everybody has a nose.
There technically is not.
Infinitely relatable. Who doesn't have a nose? What? You guys don't have noses? No, see, it's not gonna be like Blizzard standing on stage. That had to be the most. That had to be the most sad, tone-deaf response I've ever heard to a bad crowd reaction. And you know, I was very disappointed. This is a side note. Side note. Diablo tangent. I was very disappointed in the game's press because your game's press. You're supposed to be able to contextualize the weird shit or the shit that happens in the game industry for an audience of people who may not be part of the zeitgeist. And instead of rightfully explaining that the entirely negative reaction they got was because the people that attend BlizzCon are typically hardcore Blizzard fans. And as hardcore Blizzard fans, you would have to assume to some degree that these are not the people that wait for Diablo to come out on console. These are the people that play it on PC day one, eat the server issues, roll stat tables, come up with complicated trees, and these are day oneers, okay? If you bought a ticket to BlizzCon and traveled out there, you're that kind of fan. So knowing that you are standing in front of a room full of these kinds of fans, and you announce a mobile version of the game, what kind of reaction were you expecting? And instead of games press honestly and correctly outlining that for people that of course their gut reaction was to call them toxic and entitled, and that their reaction was completely out of line and uncalled for, it was honestly on games press to say, well, this is what BlizzCon is. These are the people that attend BlizzCon, and maybe this was not the proper platform for that kind of announcement. But no, they attacked the fans and the audience. They attacked the people in the audience, and just made us all out to be a bunch of assholes. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. You have lost us. This is why people don't trust you anymore. You don't do that.
You know what I think it's interesting? I mean, in no other medium is it okay to do that.
It's suspiciously okay to do.
You know what I mean? Like
Star Wars fans keep getting shit for not liking the direction of the movies.
Wow. Well, yes and no.
So it is sexist to say that Rose Tico is a bland, uninteresting character.
I mean,
we're not gonna win this war by destroying what we hate, but saving what we love.
What? What? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Sorry. The Porgs had more chemistry with Chewbacca than you had with Finn. Mark Hamill had more chemistry with that thing that gave him the milk. At least they look like they've known each other for a while.
Jeez.
What?
I mean, I don't know. That movie had many problems, sure. But I think that whenever movies are reviewed, Star Wars included, the critics, film critics, and I'm talking about like mainstream critique, you know, they don't the initial reaction isn't to, you know, disagree with other people who didn't like it and not properly contextualize it. Usually the person critiquing whatever it is does just that and offers context for why it's being
Very much
reviewed that
agree.
way. Which is often why you know, like, I mean, I understand it's completely different, but often you hear about the journey to how something was made. You know, the reason why certain actors were cast, production difficulties, like all those things are normally taken into account, and it's not usually like, oh well, the fans are stupid for not liking it or whatever. Oh no.
I can't believe the way they punch down at the people that. I mean, I don't understand how. I don't understand the business model of shitting on the very people you expect
This
to patronize
ends
your
here.
product. You know, like even
Yeah.
even I think Ryan Johnson himself was very adversarial with the fans on Twitter and on social media. Like he infamously held up his little sign or on a napkin or whatever that said "Your Snoke theory sucks," and it's like, all right, okay. I mean, I don't want to say that every criticism of every fan is valid, you know, because that's just blatantly untrue. But to dismiss any and all criticism as that of a contingency of toxic people, or to say that legitimate concerns about
Yeah.
characters and characterization as they relate to characters that many of these people have known for 3-4 decades of their life is just blatantly false because someone has a vision for them that contradicts it. It's like, I mean, you have to understand that as a fan of something, and I think even Mark Hamill said this, that you know, there is a degree of ownership that comes with being in the fandom for something. And
Yeah.
it shouldn't be kowtowed to, not by any means, but it should definitely be acknowledged. It should definitely be, you know, thought about when making certain decisions, when doing certain
Yeah,
things.
sure.
And especially if these people try to speak up and tell you, hey, this is kind of questionable. You know, it's why I love the Sonic thing so much, because there was an almost universal negative reaction to the way Sonic looked. Even though there were some people that were like, "What? I think he looks fine." And it's like, no, he doesn't. Stop. What are you doing? Don't enable this behavior. But people legitimately got angry, and instead of the producers of this movie punching back at people and saying, "Oh, what? You want him to have a uni eyeball? You want him to have a big blue spike? Yeah, okay. Tell me how that's gonna work in live action, you idiots." Like, they didn't fire back at the audience like that. They said, "Okay, we hear you. You're terrified. He looks like a cross between a gremlin and, you know, Sonic creepypasta. We're gonna go back to the drawing board." And not only did they go back to the drawing board, but they got one of the visual effects guys who worked on the games, who worked on the cutscenes in the games. Like, they went all out to make sure that whatever they did with this redesign, that it would be appropriate and most of all right. And you know, you see what we got in the end. I think it's a really
Yeah,
I
looks a
think
lot
it's
better.
a nice balance between the realism that they wanted to achieve and and the iconic parts of his design that make him recognizable. The shoes, the gloves, even though he doesn't have the uni eyeball, his eyes are mostly the same shape. You know, he looks like the character now. And that's all they had to do. It's sad that it's unprecedented that, you know, a studio would listen to the fans, but we had that lately. So it's like, I don't know why you would fail your audience just to pander to weird people who think that because you patronize a product or a franchise or a commercial entity with hundreds of thousands of dollars that it's not a given. That if you do want to keep receiving these monies, at the very least, you would give fans what they've come to expect, not what you think they need. And then call them buttheads and misogynists,
It's so weird.
like Tim Miller did. And then no one went to see his movie. Because I don't know what that means, dear. I don't know if I'm a closet misogynist or not. Am I closeted? I mean, what? I don't know. She played like gangbusters to me, so I guess I'm not a closet misogynist. I liked Grace. So I guess I didn't fall in that camp. Yeah, I liked her in the movie, so I guess, you know, I guess I'm not a closet misogynist after all. Glad we have that metric called your movie to determine this.
And
But now, it seems like such a weird trend lately. You know, I know, what was it? I know people were trying to say the same thing about the Destiny fan base. We weren't having that shit. We were like, listen, you don't know what the Destiny fan base is going to do. Keep our name, keep our fandom out of your mouth. If we say Curse of Osiris was dick butt kiss, it was. All right, and that's especially in the face of what we have already endured as Destiny fans. Don't you dare try and quantify my rage. Shoot, talking about the Undying. They're like, oh, the Destiny players are discontent about the Undying Mind event. You damn right we're discontent. They built up to this for 3 months. They talked about it. It's lore. It's legitimate lore. And all they did was reskin a boss. You better believe the Destiny community wasn't happy about that. Crab apples. Don't you dare try and call us buttheads. You know, but somebody needs to infiltrate. A good group of people need to infiltrate games press, because I think it's very unfortunate that they have taught themselves to punch down, and they've been doing that even since like pre-Gamergate, kerfuffle, blah blah blah. I remember I was reading articles that were like, "Oh, the term gamer is now dead." And it's like, wait, what? It is? When did it die? Oh, well, you know, because of the proliferation of software and casual and mobile games and the fact that everybody's playing games now, the definition of gamer has broadened to the point where it no longer applies to a specific person. And it's like, okay, that's fine. No, but I don't think gamers are dead just because everybody's playing Candy Crush. But thank you. Like, can you not just play Mad Libs with my identity? Like, go find someone else's subculture to ruin. Leave me alone. There's people that are afraid of tin foil. Go after them. We're fine over here. And like you said, they don't do that to anyone else. Like, imagine if you tried to do that to sports fans. Like, if you just started fundamentally changing the rules of sports or fucking around with sports, and then when actual sports fans came out and were like, go bleep yourself, they called the sports fans entitled assholes and started punching down at them in every article they wrote. It's like, yeah, no. I mean, are gamers just an easy target? That's what I think it is. I think that's why Anita Sarkeesian preys on it the way she does. She preys on nerd culture in general, I've noticed. Not even just video games, but nerd culture in general. If there's something very popular in nerd culture, she will come out with some funky hot take about it or talk about how flawed it is. And it's only on popular things that have to do with nerd culture. It's never anything else. I mean, truly, were you about your fellow gender, you'd be in Saudi Arabia right now advocating for some rights, not talking about how there aren't enough speaking women in The Mandalorian. Like, your problems are not problems. They're crab people problems. They're rabble. Rabble. They're rabble. Patriarchy does not exist. Okay? Because if it does, there's a matriarchy keeping me out of all the nursing and cheerleading and beautician jobs. Okay? My man Thomas that used to do my hair. Do you know? I'm serious. Look, Thomas used to do my hair, okay? He used to tell me his... Oh, God, I died. How did I... What? All right, anyway. He used to tell me how difficult it was
Sorry.
for him in particular to like be taken seriously or legitimately because he wasn't just a barber. He's also a licensed hairdresser and beautician and makeup artist. And people would take him at face value. Yeah, people would tend to take him at face value based on, you know, just the fact that barber was the first thing they would read, and they would be very skeptical about the other two parts. And it's like, why would you be? The man does hair. The man does face. Look at his hair and face. Why is it hard to believe? Because he's a man? Well then, I blame the matriarchy. You're just talking about a majority group
Well,
that is
we did it.
keeping certain rights and privileges
we
away
had
from
time
each
to
other.
think of
Hey,
another way.
it applies across the board. You know, the
We did it.
sanitation worker patriarchy, because we're definitely keeping women out of sanitation jobs. You know, what about ballet? That's a matriarchy. Yep.
What about ballet? There are plenty
Yes,
of male ballet
but
dancers.
the numbers are not equal, so that means there's a matriarchy. And if you feel silly, you see, and if you look at me like I'm crazy or think I'm being entirely silly by saying matriarchy, then we're just gonna swing that pendulum back the other way. Like, stop it, y'all. Stop it. We just like doing some things, okay? I'm sure somewhere there's a woman paving a road and operating a forklift, but y'all are not the majority, and that is not indicative.
All things
of
being
patriarchy.
equal, you would be
Yes.
correct. But that's not. Correct.
Again, it's like if the metric is like judging a majority group, I feel like context matters.
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying I agree with her, okay, but the patriarchy is a lot. It's not about traditionally when you say the patriarchy, it's not about a majority. It's about a majority who has most of the power.
So again, y'all have all the power in these nursing.
Again,
jobs.
I'm not saying I
Just
agree
keeping
with
us
her.
men out of the hairdressing
Okay,
chairs.
not
We want to do braids.
accurate, but alright.
I want a box braid.
Do you?
There's clearly an element of, you know, there's clearly an element of levity
Do
here.
you?
Okay, I'm just. The word is on my mind because she said that when she called out the Mandalorian, she was just trying to point out blatant examples of existing patriarchy in today's media and how we shouldn't just sit down and accept it. And I was like, no, I don't.
She's not wrong, but she used the poor example, unfortunately.
I mean,
Poor example. I mean,
Charlie's Angels is definitely an example of the matriarchy. What?
no,
Elizabeth
Charlie's
Banks.
Angels is an example.
Elizabeth?
Not the matriarchy. It's an overcorrection. There's no such thing
Yeah,
as
there
the
needs to be.
matriarchy. Because traditionally, women are not in power. So
Okay,
that's not a thing. Maybe in a couple of years,
I
that'll
think
be a
traditionally
thing.
women aren't in power when you have Europe has the Queen Mother, and I mean, like I said,
She doesn't have any power.
I mean,
The parliament runs Britain, and the prime minister
okay,
is a
so
man.
she's not who she is.
She's the queen. She doesn't have any power.
Okay. Well,
I'm
alright.
just saying.
Well, what I'm saying is, she explicitly said that she did not make the movie for the quote-unquote male genre, and that she made it for women. She said that
Okay.
explicitly. She made it for one gender. She did not make it for men. It is not a movie for men. Which
Is that really the problem that movie has, though, or is it
I
just
think
a
that's
bad
part of the
movie?
problem it has. I mean, because I personally would not come out of my face and say I did not make this movie for men, and then express utter and complete incredulity when men did not patronize it. It's like, I mean, what do you said it wasn't for
Well,
them.
Plenty of things were not
Fuck.
made for men.
Yes.
Twilight
no,
wasn't
well,
for
I
men,
would.
but that didn't stop it
Here.
from being, yeah.
I mean, Twilight may not have
just
been
saying.
made for men, but Twilight is also not a feminist movie. Like, Twilight doesn't do anything to alienate men
No.
from. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really. I mean, I know plenty of guys that enjoy Twilight, and
So
it's
wait.
fucking weird to me. Not because I think that Twilight is inherently female, but just because Twilight's just bad. But I know plenty of guys that like Twilight. I was talking to this guy the other day. He was like, "Yo, man, Breaking Dawn." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, you know, you could definitely tell, you know, they like the first one because the second one got a better budget. Those special effects got better in the second one." And I was like, "What? What the? What did they put in this bacon, egg, and cheese? What the fuck? What's going on here?" You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? I had that conversation verbatim. He really liked the second one, and the ones after that, and the special effects got better, and I was like, oh, all right, you know what? There are
Alrighty
there's
then.
there's something for someone everywhere. It's the beauty of the world. But I do see what you mean.
That is the beauty of the world.
You know,
I
but
agree
like,
with that.
you can watch The Expendables, okay? Even though that movie is just bleeding testosterone from every pore, every line of dialogue, every camera cut, just has just Y chromosomes just embedded in the film stock. But you can watch The Expendables and enjoy it. Nobody came out and said, "This is a movie for men." You know?
No one said that, but it was made for men.
No.
You know what I mean?
I
Just
wouldn't
like
say it was made for men. No.
it was.
That would
It
come
was.
with the implication that women don't enjoy action movies. And you enjoyed The
No,
Expendables.
that's not what that means. It means that the primary people who are intended to enjoy this movie, are men, and that's fine. Like, not everything needs to be for everybody.
I disagree. Because there's nothing about the movie that's inherently male. Again, unless you want to say that action movies are only meant for men.
All of the primary.
I mean, there aren't even.
No, the reason it's meant for men is because all of the characters are men, and they have their primary concerns are concerns that men have. But
it's an assembly
again,
of 80s
that's
action stars.
fine. I'm not.
mean, most
Yeah.
of them happen to be men. It's not men by design.
That's.
I'm not. I can't agree with that, dude. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
actually, that's how 80s action movies were
Can't
made.
agree.
Again, that's fine. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad
It's
thing.
not true.
You know, not
I
everything's for
understand that,
everybody.
but to say that The Expendables was made for men,
I can
that's like saying
enjoy
Die
it.
Hard was made for men, just because it's an action movie starring
It
a
was.
dude. See, I don't understand that though. There's nothing inherently male about it, aside from the fact that you said men are cast in the
Everything
principal roles. That'd be like saying Ocean's 8 is for
about
women,
it.
just because the entire cast is women, which that doesn't.
It
I
was.
mean, what about it? Okay. Again, I'm gonna need something other than the
Well,
casting. Because
again,
that doesn't make sense.
well, I can give you a number of things that make it be a primarily female interest movie. Okay, so the first thing is, as you said, all the actors
And
are women.
so is
The
Annihilation.
second thing is the plot, and this. The second thing is that the plot involves stealing something from the Met Gala.
Okay, so because they're stealing
like
jewelry.
a prime
Oh,
diamond
God.
from the Met.
Didn't Sean Connery and Catherine
From the Met
Zeta-Jones
Gala.
steal jewelry in Entrapment? You're invoking stereotypes
I don't remember
as a
that.
way to say that something is or isn't for a certain gender. And I get it. I mean, they're stereotypes.
I'm
but
invoking-
no.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that all of the things that are the important, plot points and the things that you would remember about this movie are things that women are interested in. I'm not saying that men can't enjoy it. I'm saying that as it was designed, it's meant to have a primary female audience.
It's
That's
a
it.
jewel heist,
That's
but I mean,
the same
there's plenty of men involved
the
in
Met
jewel.
Gala.
I mean, where else but the Met Gala? Give me another place that you can steal a high-profile, expensive jewel.
Anywhere.
Why not the Met Gala?
Because the Met Gala is not a jewelry, like, it's not really like a jewelry showcase. That's not what the Met
Oh, and
Gala
there
is.
aren't men don't attend the Met Gala with outfits of their own either. Usually, no. Are you gonna say that?
mean,
You
there
gonna say that
are.
men don't attend the Met Gala?
So there are far more women than men who attend the Met Gala, and the people who are interested in the Met Gala generally are
Because
women.
only women are interested in fashion.
Are you interested in what happened? Okay, so what was the theme?
I'm
of
a
the
very
last Met Gala?
specific
Do you know?
person, though. That to say that because I don't pay
You are
attention
the
to fashion is not because I'm male. It's because it's just not part of my interest. I'm interested in plenty of things.
Okay, so
I wouldn't say that the fashion industry.
I think that you're taking what I'm thinking in a direction
No, it
that
just
I'm
seems
not
like
saying
you're
it. So I'm
invoking
telling you
stereotypes in order to prove
that-
that something is made for
yes,
or not.
that's what generalities are.
But
Generally speaking,
generalizations are not-
men are not interested in fashion.
Generalizations are intellectually disingenuous because they're generalizations. You don't generalize because people have nuance.
Okay, well, generalizations are what this is about, though. So, generally speaking, Twilight is not for men. Generally speaking. That doesn't mean men can enjoy it, right? You just named somebody who
yeah.
enjoyed it.
I guess, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Generally speaking, the Met Gala's primary audience is not men.
Okay.
That's not to say that men can't enjoy
I know
it.
plenty of fashion-minded men.
Generally speaking, Die Hard is not really a female-centric
Because it's an action
movie.
movie?
That doesn't mean that as
So
a woman, because that's
very
not
reductive.
true. It stars Bruce Willis, and it's about. I'm not saying it's a bad
I never said you
movie.
said
It's a-
that.
it
I'm
was-
saying
I
that's,
enjoyed
that's
it.
really reductive just to say that because the star is a certain gender and it's a certain genre
That's
and
not
because
all
it's a
I'm
certain
saying.
genre, like
That's
you're
not
just
all I'm
saying,
saying.
You're essentially saying that the action genre of movies is for men.
Shall we begin then?
When I don't think it's pointed that way. I feel like if you were to say
Not
romantic comedy,
necessarily.
if you were to say that rom-coms were aimed at women, that would be one thing because they absolutely are. But to say that like action is pointed, I can't agree.
Not all
with
action
that.
movies. I didn't say that, so we agree there. I didn't say that all action movies are meant for men. I didn't say that at all.
But you're saying based on the casting and the genre of the movie. So if Bruce Willis is the male star of Die Hard and it's an action movie, it's meant for men. If The Expendables has a mostly male cast
No,
and it's in the
that's
action
not
genre, it's made for men.
What I said.
That's basically what you're saying.
No,
you know
that's
that-
not what I said. So Die Hard is an action movie, yes, and it has a male actor as a protagonist, but also the themes in the movie are themes that men would identify with.
What,
They
being
have
an
a
everyman
mission.
Caught in a
it's-
situation beyond your control. I mean, he's not exactly Rambo. He's not exactly John Rambo, hon. He's an ordinary dude caught in a situation that's spiraling out of control, and he just wants to get out of it. He's not even inherently heroic, even though he's doing heroic things. So it's not even like you could say it's not even like a male power fantasy in the strongest sense of the word. I mean, the fact that he's barely getting out with his life is in and of itself entertaining, but it's not like Live Free or Die Hard, which is just fucking ridiculous. Like I could definitely see an argument for that just being like a giant nonsense power fantasy.
I mean, no.
I mean,
it's
John
not
McCain
really
is practically
that.
superhuman in Live Free or Die Hard. I mean, in the first 3 Die Hards, he's not that kind of person, but in Live Free or Die Hard, he's surfing on F-16s and using police cars to hit helicopters.
Right. Well, I'm not saying that it's a power fantasy, but it's definitely a story that is.
Checking now.
I see.
What's the word? That is
You know, like
honed to male sensitivities, where there's a lone hero fighting overwhelming
I guess.
odds, and
I
it turned him into a star because it kind of created the template for those late
yeah,
80s,
definitely.
early 90s
absolutely,
action
absolutely.
movies. So, I mean, I'm not saying that only men can enjoy it, but I am saying that the themes that it explores in its story, the kind of hero that he is something that primarily does appeal to men.
I
That's,
guess
that's
so.
what I'm saying.
I guess so, but I don't know. I just can't agree that the Expendables is made for men. I see what you're saying, but I feel like the evidence you're citing is purely coincidental because, I mean, they were the ones that starred in these movies, and this is the movie that's paying tribute to them. I mean, it's just incidental that they all are mostly men, but I mean, you can't say, like, there isn't a woman or someone that gets fridged. In fact, for the vast majority of the movie, it's mostly I'm saying there isn't a woman or a love interest in the movie. Nobody that's been killed or kidnapped that they need to avenge. And for the vast majority of the movie, it's so focused on a pastiche of action.
The sheer absence.
And it's so focused on action that there aren't even, love interests or things of that nature to deal with.
No.
So it's not even like, it's literally just things being shot.
Okay, so did you just say that the absence of any female characters in this movie and the fact that no females get killed for the sake of plot devices makes this not a movie that was specifically made for men?
What I'm saying is that it's not an action movie in the traditional sense. It doesn't use plot elements or things that would normally involve women in a narrative sense, because a lot of the women in the Expendables movies are usually beating tons of ass, and they don't have to be love interests or fridged. That's what I'm saying. There are women in these movies, but they're not serving a function that they're as part of the craziness as the men are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying The Expendables is a traditional action movie, but it is a culmination of a genre that was traditionally geared at men.
Too right. We didn't have a ton of Linda Hamiltons and Kate Beckinsales back then, so, we've gotten better.
No, I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, very manly.
For sure.
Testosterone-fueled 80s. You're right. True that.
It was.
True that. I don't know. You know what? I often have a very idealized, very optimistic, sometimes maybe even slightly naive view of a lot of things because I don't assume bad intent or I don't assume ill intent. I generally project that a little bit when it may not be the case. So, I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying about it. I just felt like, it's not going out of its way to be like, men! So my immediate reaction is just like, oh, well, it's not doing anything too bad. But I see what you mean. I
mean, and if you're doing it right, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, that's really the key to having, to your point originally, that's really the key to having more people enjoy it. Like Twilight, for example, didn't come out of the gate like, yeah, bring your vaginas in here. We're about to get on this femme fest.
It's time to jam out with your clam out.
Of course.
They didn't immediately.
Even though it's very clear that the people who would be enjoying this the most would be women, right?
I felt for the first time I was experiencing the female gaze every time I saw Jacob on screen. That's a thing, right? The female gaze, is that a thing?
No.
Damn it, why do we have all of these things that exclusively apply to men? Y'all don't leer at us, really? Y'all don't look at the slabs of man meat? How many times has my butt been grabbed? Oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. All right, fine. It's not assault. It's gonna grab cheeks.
That's right.
I just can't say anything. Somebody get the license. I've just been violated.
Oh, jeez. So, I mean, on the so for the Expendables, no one was like, bring your testicles in here. We're about to get testosterone out.
If you don't
Like,
have at least one testicle,
you could-
viewer discretion advised. Yeah.
I mean, I was able to enjoy it, and so were plenty of other women, I think. So, I mean, that's it's fine, and not everything is honed for everybody. In fact, I think that whenever people try and do that and try to be all things to everybody, that's, usually a recipe for
Yes,
disaster.
because you can't.
So I think it's more important, yeah. So I think it's a lot more important to try to make a good movie and stop trying so hard to shoehorn politics into movies.
I think the drinker said it best. He's reviewing Charlie's Angels, and he said something along the lines of, people go to see movies and they see these, these blatant instances of pandering. What ends up happening is that no one leaves the theater satisfied. Because men don't like it because they end up feeling condescended and talked down to, and women don't like it because they feel that it's just annoying and patronizing. So like nobody walks out of the experience, having had a good time at the end of the day. And they would do well to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Every time they feel like they have to shoehorn something in just for the sake of it being there.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think they're learning it bit by bit. I think we've had enough obliterated franchises and low box office numbers that at least somebody's trying to change their approach. Like today, the Marvel fan crowd gave a collective whoop and are very excited about the Black Widow movie due to that fantastic trailer that showed just enough,
Oh my
but
god,
not
that
enough.
looks
So just
awesome.
enough, but not enough, so that we're all talking about it and speculating. And of course, people were like, yeah, it's really funny that people that didn't like the Captain Marvel trailer like this one. It's almost as if they don't hate women after all. And it's like, well, we have acknowledged that Black Widow has a mysterious, albeit, trial-filled backstory. That she has been through some ish. And we have always wanted to see this story be told. And the way it's being portrayed is very interesting. Has a bunch of characters that we haven't seen yet. And most of all, it doesn't seem like it is what it is to suit any particular person's, personal feelings on the matter. It's a Black Widow movie about Black Widow. They didn't tell us that we needed her.
10 years.
A hero. She's just Black Widow and she shoots people in the face. And yeah, it's almost so interesting that feeling of too little too late really does ring in the back of my head while I'm watching this. I'm like, God damn, why didn't this happen a long time ago? It happened after she's
They
dead.
could've just done this, like,
She's dead.
it happened after she's
It's like,
dead.
geez, this is so cool looking, and David Harbour is somehow fat and muscular at the same time. He's the Red Guardian. Oh my gosh. Go Hop.
That's
They gave him
crazy.
did you see his biceps? My man has the MCU biceps. But he's got like a gut. I don't know how they did that. I'm telling you, dear, they can craft
Yeah,
any body they
I
want
don't
to in
know
the
either.
MCU. It's ridiculous. They need a reality show. There needs to be a reality show when they just get people to star in Marvel movies. Like, I need to know how Paul Rudd got those abs for Ant-Man. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay? What about what they did to Star-Lord? Look what they did to to Chris Pratt. That man was
All of a
rotund.
sudden, he had, like,
Then all of a sudden he came out of nowhere with the abs, and I'm like, that Marvel workout plan is just. Whew. Excuse me. Got a little bit excited there. All right. Well,
Yeah.
the ramblings and the musings aside, I feel like we have run the clock in the best way possible. I mean, you know me. I love our talks. I think that was a pretty interesting topic we had back there, you know, about testosterone and how it is loaded into the medium of cinema more often than not.
Yeah.
I appreciate your thoughts and your perspective. I feel like I learned a little something there. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Checking.
I think with that having been done and said and done, we've spent about a half an hour in the tower already. We are that interesting. Yes, we're that interesting, folks. But I think we can call it a crab for tonight's expert playlist. Episode 111. The aptly titled Saint-14. Still wearing my Saint-14 regalia for great justice. Had to do my man honors, okay? He's Russian. He is so Russian. I love it. I could not believe his voice when I heard it the first time. Ugh. That was so cool. I did not expect that at all. I didn't think he was going to be Russian. Oh, that voice. I can't wait. If he is not next to us headbutting people, there is no justice in the world. He better be in the first mission, or at least in the second mission. Maybe even the third one. I'll take it if they make us wait until the third one. I just need to see him headbutt something in third person. Okay? That's all I need to see out in the field. Got Guardians out here doing Shoryukens. That was a Shoryuken. Alright? And then somebody else did a flash kick. And then someone else got headbutted. And I'm like, Bungie, you guys are having way too much fun making these finishers. Which is apropos, because I was wondering, like, I've been drop kicking people for 3 months. I thought there was going to be an abundance of finishers, man. We got to get on this. Come on. Where's the rock bottoms? Yeah. Come on. Just give me my clotheslines. You know, give me my crippler cross faces. All right, I want to see some people's elbows out here. All right? I'm just saying. Right? Right? No? Come on. You want to see the people's elbow.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm gonna
do a stone cold stunner on a fool, okay? That's what I want. I want the boot and the boof. I want the stone cold stunner. Somebody get Vince McMahon on this right away. Synergy. Get this happening. But
Alright.
My excitement aside, we can speculate further on the next episode. There's much to ruminate on.
Alright,
if
that
you're
sounds
down,
fun.
maybe we can bonus out a little bit. Maybe look for Zer. Knock out this quest for me and my cheeks before the season of the dawn dawns upon us. If you're down, we can do a bonus ep.
Yeah.
But until that supposed bonus
sounds fun.
with more speculations, more interesting movie talks, and etc. for the crabs, this has been the Expert Playlist for tonight. Thank you for watching. Here. You know what we like. You know what we like here at the Expert Playlist. You gonna do the thing for the people while I take this selfie?
Yeah, you should check out the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams and the YouTubes and definitely InfernalPenguins.com.
Listen, you better check out those sites, okay? I put my ankles in this edit. It's hilarious. Okay? We are like Mr. Robinson, okay? Except you better call our social media presence no nonsense, because we do not play. No, I am not going to fart. Okay? No, don't stop listening. Nope. No. That's how serious we are here, okay? Look at the brush on my head. Brush means business.
That's what it
You heard
does
the lady.
mean.
Visit all of the sites. Follow all of the things. The updates are about to flow on an unprecedented level. But thank you for watching. And as I am always prone to saying right
Good night,
before
everyone.
we cut this thing for good. That's right. You watch that shoulder. Look at him. He loves it. Good night, everybody. How dare you? You know I say good night first.
I know you were taking
mean
too
I was
long.
taking
That
too
was
long?
like a very long good night.
Do I look like joke to you? Am I joke to you, comrade? Comrade.
That's a trick joke, isn't it?
You know, I actually jumped down here and lived. That means it was meant to be. Look. I actually landed on the bridge.
Wow, look at that. Oh, you landed
Take
on
it to the
bridge.
bridge.
Nice.
Go ahead, girl. I'm happy. Come up to the back. VIP. Got with the drinks on me. Let me see what you're twerking with. Curse of Gabriel. Oh. Oh, you. Oh, no. Oh, no, you're gone. Oops.
Hello.
Hello there.
Go ahead, Chan.
Go.
Okay with it. Okay.
Definitely one of our best. We may have to take that one too. That was fantastic. Thank you, Boo. Thank you for that wonderful, wonderful, humor-filled, productivity-filled, lore-filled, preview-filled, expert playlist. Getting better every day. Getting better every minute. Getting better every hour. The personality is flowing. I appreciate you. You gonna hit the sack? You gonna do that thing that you do when you hit the sack? Is that what's gonna happen now? Because you were up pretty late.
Yep. Yeah, I was. I mean, not that late. Not late. But yeah, I should go to bed. I'm very tired and I need to be up relatively
How early
early
is early?
tomorrow. So. Oh, like 7.
Oh. Well, be sure to send me some snoot. I might be up that early myself. Send me all.
Yeah,
all
what
of
are you
the
up to?
snoot. I want some nose. I want some cheek. I want some cheek nose and some nose cheeks. I want some cheeks. What? Well, I just want to wake up early so I can get a start on the day. I figure if I'm gonna have some time, you know, I really want to make the most of it. I want the day to feel long. I don't want to wake up at like 10 or 11 and then crack on. Just a personal choice.
Okay.
Personal choice to make the day
Yeah,
feel like it's got
sounds
more hours in it. That's all.
Cool.
Making the most of it, boo. All I can do.
I'm glad.
Me too.
Oh man,
What?
I keep meaning to send you these stupid assessments. I'm gonna do them tomorrow for
Alright, and
sure.
if you don't, I'll remind you. There's 2 of us on this team.
Okay.
I'll remind you. What is it? Mimetic Savior Greaves, man? Get these
Okay.
things out of my inventory. Talking that nonsense. Talking about Mimetic Savior boots. Sorry. They gave me some Peregrine Greaves earlier. I'm like, you guys need to stop messing with me, okay? Give me what I want. You know what I want. What do I want, dear?
I don't know. What do you want?
I want the Doomfang Pauldron, of course. I mean, jeez. It's my favorite.
Don't you already have that?
Yeah, but if you guys are going to give me new drops at the high light level, I mean, you know, might as well give me the exotic I'm going to use. I feel sorry for Titan boots and chest armors. Because the gauntlets seem to be like the best exotics. Well, the gauntlets and the helmets seem to be the best exotics for the Titans. I was like, why would I equip these feet boots that make my shoulder charge stronger when I can equip the insurmountable skull fort, which gives me unlimited shoulder charge? Yeah, it's like, why would I do this? Why would I equip the Phoenix Cradle boots, which makes Sun Warrior last twice as long? That's the thing that's the buff you get on your super. When the Hollow Fire Heart causes all of my abilities, including my super, to charge faster. Like for every feet boot, I have a reason to not equip them. Like, why would I do this?
I see.
Maybe they'll revamp them at some point.
Okay.
Titan feet boots need some love.
Perhaps.
But we will ruminate later. Thank you for being you. I'll talk to you in the morning. Schnoz. Sneeze. Other cheeks.
Alrighty.
Thank you for being
You too.
in a nostril that will stay up until 1 a.m. Talking about Die Hard.
I do like Die Hard.
Well, I think we've officially unanimously agreed that it's a Christmas movie. I think it's officially been stated. So the debate, I think the debate was crushed this year, dear. I think that they finally came out and they're like, nope, it's a Christmas movie. Cut it out. It is. It's officially a Christmas movie now. Now, we have eliminated one of the annual holiday debates. Yeah,
Great debate.
Now we just got to get over the baby it's cold outside one, but we have the John Legend one now, which is like, I think it's hilarious. Have you heard it yet? I told you, hon, you have to listen to it and let me know what you think, because I think it's hilarious. The dynamic is so fucked. The dynamic is so screwed now, because now it just sounds like Kelly Clarkson wants the D. It sounds like the woman wants the D, and John Legend is just like, look, man, I don't want to get me too'd, so can you go home? Like, that's kind of the impression I got from this version. It's like, all right.
Bye. Down to the city and up again.
She's like, it's not that cold outside. He's like, yeah, but my heat is off, so it's like, damn. He really wants you to leave. It's like, shit. Leave John Legend alone. Leave him alone. He's just trying to be a gentleman.
What do you think?
It's worth listening to for that alone.
That's pretty funny.
You have to hear it. It's unbelievable in the best of ways. In the best of ways, it is just unbelievable. It's really what it's like to listen to it.
Like, can you get out of
Seriously,
here
that's what it's like.
now?
She's like making up excuses to stay, and John Legend's like, nah, man, but not before marriage. It's great. It's great for all the right and the wrong reasons.
Not before
Not
marriage.
verbatim, but I'm
Wow.
trying to give you an idea of the cadence that's going on here between the two of them. It's like he's just trying to get out of this. He's like, I don't want to catch a case. I'm good. Haven't seen my parole officer in over a year. Want to keep it that way. Out of my house.
That's pretty funny.
It is. It's actually. I don't know. It's unintentionally funny on the behalf of the people who made it, but it's definitely a very humorous listen, and it's definitely a product of its time, just like the original was. But it's definitely a product of its time.
Yeah.
All right, Boo. Thank you for being a bastion of interesting conversation. Sleep well. I will speak to you in the morning, as I do. At least I think I do. Yeah, I'll be
Alrighty.
talking to you in the morning. If I can help it. If I
You do.
can help it. Smooches and all of the things that are fit to smooch.
Smooches.
You have the great night of the nose. Question.
Good night, dear.
Right before you sign off. Should I buy an enhancement prism? I have 10 enhancement cores, and I can actually buy one of these things now. Should I buy one?
Huh.
Do you think that's worth?
Do you need it for something?
Yeah, I need it for my armor because I need to collect them for my armor because it's the only way I can master with the helm of Saint-14. I need 3 enhancement prisms. Believe it or not, 3. It's ridiculous. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I should just
That's
wait
ridiculous.
and see if the ordeal drops it, or do you think it's worth 10 cores? That's a lot of cores.
That's
I've
a
never
lot
had
of
10
cores.
before, so it's never lit up like this. I've never been able to buy one. I've never actually had 10 cores at the same time, so I'm like, it's an interesting development.
You should hold off.
Okay. I'm so glad you said that, because I didn't want to spend it. I didn't want to spend it. Oh, goodness, thank you. Okay. I will indeed hold off. All right, dude. Thank you for your... Have a good night.
Alrighty.
Sweating bullets over here.
Good night.
10 cores. 10 cores. Good night.
Good night.
Guardian, I hope you have something for me that might help you make it safer.
Checking now.